Magandang gabi. Hello. This for the people here in California, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. This is Jush Andowitt. Magandang good evening. This is Friday night at 9 o'clock. Live na live po tayo ngayon. And also, for those people watching in the Philippines, it is 12 noon ng Saturday. And for the rest of the world, magandang tanghali, magandang umaga, magandang gabi. At we are so excited today because napaunlakan po tayo na a very good friend of mine, and also marami tayong pagkukwento. I'm so excited that talagang it's worth the wait because we've been trying to get into his schedule, but he's so busy as you would know, and it was already announced. And I would not make this longer than what it is. Our guest for today is none other than the model, the actor, the singer, the artist, ano pa ba? Game host before. He is a heartthrob of the GMA network and one of the prize talent of the network. Without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Rodriguez. Hey, Tommy.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Happy to be here, finally.
I know, finally to see you also.
Natin, ano na, electrician and plumber since the pandemic.
I know, I heard. Oh my God, do you know that?
Ay, sorry, nakita. This is Brian's ring. I'm gonna have my own soon, but this one is Brian. Sorry, baka lang magtaka yung mga tao. And this, kay Brian to yung hikaw.
Si Brian from yung character, those people who are not watching the show yet, it's the world between us and Brian. And siya yung triangle ni Alden Richard at saka ni...
Hindi triangle, I'm the brother.
The brother of Jasmine na parang kontrabida, which will be talked about. Kasi parang first time yata niya tinanggap yung
This is his, ito. Kung unsub ko ngayon.
So si Brian character po. Kasi
Brian to yung karap mo.
Yeah, we waited po for him to be here today because he has some scenes that he needs to finish.
Yeah, we're actually in my lock-in room. This is my room for lock-in.
Yeah, lock-in room po siya ngayon because, of the pandemic in the Philippines. Yep. So how are you, Tom? How are you?
I'm great. Yeah. Finally, we're doing our third leg na for The World Between Us. It got cut short because of when they did the enhanced community quarantine. Tapings and productions were considered mass gatherings, so we had to halt after our second or third day. So finally here, we're all back.
All productions like that na, right? Lahat pati si...
Lahat locked in. Pero sila, Carlo, when they were locked in, nasa Bataan sila. So when the ECQ happened, they were spared from it. So sila ongoing. That's why we had to do the season break. We had to split it into two seasons.
Okay. Your real name is Bartholomew Alberto. Right? Bartolome in the Philippines, right?
Actually, like, my mom wanted it to be Bartholomew. But my dad said, no, we have to keep it like my grandpa's name. Yung lolo ko, nanay ni mom. So
and your birthday is coming up. It's October 1st, right? Oh my God.
34.
Oh my God, the big 3-4. Hindi naman halata. I mean, the genes pulled it out. Thanks for the Asian genes. But you were born in Subic, right? Subic Naval Base, right?
Yep.
And then your mom is from Catbalogan, Samar, right?
No, Mambog, Pinabacdao.
Yeah, pero
we lived in Catbalogan, pero my mom is from Mambog, Pinabacdao, which is a few hours away from Catbalogan. It's in Samar.
And then you studied in St. Mary's, is that correct?
St. Mary's Academy. Back then it was
Academy
Sacred Heart
in
College.
Samar, right? Right. And they used to be a different name, right? Before?
Yes, Sacred Heart College. Yun yung name na naabutan ko talaga. Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart na siya. Pero you stayed until 12, right? At 12 years old, nag-migrate na kayo sa States, right?
Yeah, to the States. Around 2001.
Okay, my question is,
August.
why
right
Yuma?
After my mom's birthday yun. Actually,
right.
After my mom's birthday. So October 15 birthday ni mom, October 16 was when we left for the States.
Now, klaro natin, sa Arizona kayo nag-stay.
Yeah.
Kasi yung mga write-up na
nasusunod
sa internet, nakalagay, di ba? Nakalagay doon, San Francisco.
San Francisco, paiba-iba. Yeah, even when I auditioned, they think it's San Francisco, but I auditioned for PBB in Santa Clara.
Right.
Santa Clara, Clarita, California. Basta Santa Clara,
Santa Clara. Yeah, yung sa convention.
Where we would. That's where I auditioned talaga. So
you never lived in San Francisco.
Never lived in San Francisco.
Na anong
Mali
sabi
yung
ko, no,
nandun.
no,
Yeah, I like
he's
this. I like this that we're setting the
clearing
record
things.
straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then
10 years nang ganyan yung write-up sa akin. Kaya it's nice na finally, after a decade, we're clearing things
you
up.
know, I did all the research on you. It's like, oh no, I know this guy. Hindi
Yeah,
siya nag-San Francisco ever. He will
never.
fly there
Yuma,
for
Arizona.
shows. At saka alam
Would you
ko,
believe?
nag-audition. Kasi we talked about it briefly before.
Yeah.
Nag-audition ka sa Santa Clara Convention Center.
Yeah.
I think yun
I
pa
even
yun
had to fly. I had to fly going there. It was my sister, Ate Lorraine, who spent for the flight to go there for the
Okay, and
audition.
there's 6 of you, right? Six children,
I'm
right?
third.
3 girls, 3 boys, right?
Yeah.
First question ko
Smack dab
sa'yo.
in the middle.
Name the siblings according to age.
Age.
The eldest
So
to youngest.
Ate Lovell, Ate Lorraine, ako, Lori Ann, then Walter and William.
Galing,
So the
bilis,
cool thing is, yung maganda dun, I don't know how they planned it, my mom and dad. Siguro may schedule sila, kaya ganun nangyari. Because yung dulo-dulo, Ate Lovell and William are both February. Ate Lorraine and Walter, both September. Kami ni Lori Ann, yung gitna, iba, October and April. Tapos kami lang yung ito, girl, boy, tapos kaming dalawa, boy, girl. Ang weird, I don't know how they did it.
Now, a lot of people, ito, kasi lahat ng interview, do you know that I watch all the interview that was done on you? So I want to make sure walang duplicate eh. Kasi parang ang pangit naman pag duplicate lang. Talk to us
May
about
YouTube lang din nila ulit.
I know, di ba?
May YouTube lang.
Talk to us about your childhood. How was it? How do you describe your childhood, Tom?
Oh, I was kaya nga, whenever people ask me what it is I relate to about Brian, I remember my younger self who was a terror to my mom, a terror to my teachers. I was an unruly kid. Bumait lang ako nung nung tumanda ako ng konti, but it was a vibrant.
No, but from
Samar,
unruly ka na nung nasa Samar ka o nasa Arizona
meaning,
ka na?
No, sa Arizona mabait na ako eh. When I was in naman ang sama ko naman sa sarili ko, sabihin na masama ako. I was problematic, pero hindi naman siguro masama. Always well-intentioned, pero really, lalabas ako ng bahay, I would explore, I was never at home, I loved adventure, and I would get into trouble that way. I wouldn't advise it. If I were my own kid, sasawayin ko talaga ako. I was a lot to handle for my teachers, for my mom, for the family. Grabe, I was everywhere. Ayoko nang isa-isahin. Buti na lang madungis akong bata kaya never ako nakidnap kasi ang daming mga there was NPA stuff that was going on sa Samar. It's very rampant at the time. Yun pala yung fear ng family ko. That's why they were
Pero
so strict.
one of the things that I remembered about you is you speak 3 languages. You speak Waray, right? You speak Tagalog, of course you speak English, and you do Waray. Can you greet our Waray, our people?
Bisaya as well, I learned.
In Visayas, yes. Can you greet them para matuwa naman yung mga audience natin? At because they're seeing us live, and people are listening on podcasts too with iHeart and iTunes and also Spotify. Go ahead.
Kadada mo. Maupay nga adlaw, hay yung tanan nga mga taga Samar o mga waray-waray. Di diha kalibutan kung hain man kamo yana. Tom Rodriguez ini. And alam mo ba, nga, nagdako ako, Akatbalogan sa
Whatever you said, it sounds good.
For all you know, that was all gibberish.
Ay, ito, pili ko, binibenta mo na eh. Anyway, basta alam ko lang, alam mo ba?
Ay, by the way, props ng puto. Baka akalain ng tao, sabi, ba't ang pangit ng audio quality nito? Tapos may mga spit filter pa siya. Props ng puto. This is for a whole different setup.
Okay, meron akong papakita sa yung picture ah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know that picture. That's when mom and dad were leaving the Philippines.
This one? Ito ba yun?
Yeah, that's when 2015 nung pumunta sila dito, I was doing Marimar. So that's when they were leaving na. They visited Okinawa muna. Sila Ate Lovell, Ate Lorraine, they were stationed there at the time. Tapos they went back here to the Philippines to go back to the States.
And then this one, tinawan si Mama at si Papa.
That's from the same trip. Same trip nila dito. Dad had his mustache and everything. He shaved it kaya dun sa end wala na. Pero that's the same trip.
Ito isa sa paborito kong picture eh.
Yeah, there you go. That's my cowboy.
Yeah,
I
talk to
miss
us
that
about
dude.
your dad. Your dad is, sila talaga actually, mas
He was
naging close
he
mo.
was my champion.
Mas naging close mo muna ako sa daddy mo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sobrang ano yun eh. Siguro, I'm like a light version of my dad. I'd like to think I got a lot of qualities from him when it comes to being personable. Siya talaga yung sobrang very charming, very personable
Seems like
person.
he like horses, no? Di
Yeah,
ba?
he
He
grew up
really likes
talaga. That's how he
horses.
grew up as a cowboy. So that's how he envisioned his retirement. I was very glad now when he was doing all those things. I was there with him before I went to college. So I was the one that was helping him train the horses in the stables. Passion niya talaga. So it was something that was very near and dear to his heart. And I'm glad that he was able to share it sa akin.
So
Sabi yun, he's the type of guy na he had a lot of passions and he would always find out how to do things that he wanted to do and he would do them. So at a young age, I could see it and it was something I emulated. So tuloy, nothing felt impossible.
Pero grabe talaga yung dad mo kasi I remember
Sobra.
when
Renaissance man.
he introduced himself to me and he mentioned about the email. I cannot even say it on air.
Oh, his email
Yes,
address. I
nakakaloko
was just
siya.
telling
Too
a
bad,
story
hindi
about
niyo
it
po alam.
kay Sid Lucero kanina, kay Timmy. I was telling him a story about that email. It came up for some reason. Hindi ko alam kung pwede ba
Hindi. Hindi,
even just to
masasensor
spell it out.
tayo. Basta yun ang na-remember ko when he introduced himself, tapos di exchange kami ng
There's a
pleasantries. Tapos
very
sabi
green
niya,
book sa email niya.
tapos biglang natingin ako sa kanya, parang ibang level to. And he spoke fluent in Tagalog.
Yeah, marunong siya, nasanay siya. Even a little bit of Waray, and I know he knows a little bit of Ilocano and Kapampangan. So he picked up a lot from when he was here.
Tapos eto yon. Yung nga sabi ko, yun muna pinakita ko, yung your dad with the horses and all. Ayan ka, oh. You see that?
Yeah, taga-totoy. Saan yan? Saan yung galing? I haven't seen that in a long time.
Magaling ang team ko mag-research, you know?
Yeah, I was a teenager. Ako yung stable hand ng tatay ko.
Yeah, parang si Bill, no? Younger version. No?
Yeah.
Parang younger version mo, no? Parang younger version niya, no?
Pwede. I can
You
see
know what I was telling my staff?
ako.
What I was telling my staff is to look for, kasi nag-post ka minsan yung daddy mo nung bata pa siya.
Yeah.
Yung parang
Actually,
naka-outfit
may hawig ni Walter.
Oo nga hindi ko mahanap. Hindi namin mahanap kasi
I think it was in Instagram.
We went through your Instagram. Wala.
Oh.
Sabi ko, baka tinanggal mo na.
No, never Nandun lang yun.
Pero grabe yun, yung hawig na hawig ni Walter.
Ni Walter yung smile, tas yung ano niya talaga, grabe. Yun yung pang-artistahing look. So he's better looking. My dad is better looking than I am.
Now, what we talk about your dad, what about your mom? How is she as
my mom? That's grabe. Mom, I would always apologize to her now for all the props I gave her as a child and a lot of the things that I never knew that she was doing for us. Mom has that quiet quality to her na she endures a lot of things. Na later on in life ko nakita yung value na grabe. Mom did all of these things. Mom did all of that thing. She took on so many hats and it went unappreciated by me for so long.
Really?
I saw a lot of strength in her quietness.
Really?
Yeah.
Talaga? Hindi mo na-appreciate?
Ang dami niyang ginagawa. For example, she had to run a household while dad was stationed overseas, so we would see him every 6 months, and yet we still had a good relationship with our dad.
Pero
even though hindi kayo magkakasama.
When was this epiphany na na-realize mo how superwoman
Nung
she is?
nasa States na. Now that I'm an adult as well, thinking about life, I realized I was looking back at my life and I said, wow, mom was there the whole time. And that day we would think pa, grabe, mom, you're so strict about this. Mom, you're ganito, mom. Like that. But she had a lot on her plate. And grabe how she did it pa rin, with us in mind. Every action that she did, it was to take care of us.
You know what's surprising is 6 kids in the States.
Yep.
Diba?
And now seeing my birth certificate again, seeing my birth certificate, here's another testimony to testament to her strength. For our marriage license and all that stuff, kailangan ng certificate of no marriage. I had my baptismal records, my birth certificate. So I ordered up my live birth certificate and seeing there, my mom was 35 when she had me. So I'm the third born. She had 3 more kids after that. So, I mean, back
Also,
then,
so that is already aside. Pwede kay cars.
yeah. Sabi ko nga, I was showing to Carla. Sabi niya, Daddy, iba naman dati. Siyempre, it's different before. Now, like, allowing stress, people are overpaid. Sabi ko, pero look, my mom was able to do it. Grabe na, mas bumilib ako. Bumilib ako kay mom na, to think that those are, parang, di ba, they tell you that's the scary stage na in life to have kids. And that she had 3 and she was able to be there for us pa rin and take care of us, raise us right. Sabi ko, sobrang bumilib ako lalo sa nanay ko. Hats
I
off
know,
to my
grabe.
mom.
At saka grabe talaga. And what I like about you guys, kasi I met the whole family, di ba? Sabi nga
Yeah.
ng tatay mo, mot ka na, Josh, you're
Mot ka na.
the young mot. Sabi ko, okay. Tapos nakakatawa.
Mot,
Kasi
hindi Rodriguez, ha?
oo, di ba ibang-iba kayo eh. Kasi normally kasi, I see people like that when they're here in the Philippines. Pero kayo kasi, at age 12, umalis na kayo, di ba? Ikaw, 12 years old. Pero pag nakikita ho kayo, it's not an act. And that I'll go on public on that. Talagang very touchy-feely, di ba? You
really,
hug, you kiss. Tight,
grabe
very
yung,
tight.
we say, I
Yeah.
love you. Even sila Carla, minsan na-surprise siya when I say to, kila Walter William, love you. Even here, sometimes people are not used to it. Even to my friends, mga best friends ko, I say, I love you. Parang it's something that I learned from my family. And siguro it's our bonds became really tight when we moved to the States. Kasi yun nga, di ba, we left after mom's birthday. Mom wasn't able to join us pa kasi she had her visa problems. So for 1 year, it was just me and my siblings. Dad, to answer your first question, narinig ko kanina, why Yuma? We'll go back to it. Now I'll answer it. Yuma because mura yung tax. Dad was stationed in San Diego. Pero he would always travel. So he would travel that far just and travel back to be with us. So for a lot of it, it was me and my 5 siblings. That we really had to be there for each other. We really learned how to be a unit, how to be a family. It was my elder sisters who had to step up and take care of us for that first year until mom was able to finally join us. So tuloy, parang andun kami. We became like a really, really tight family.
So maganda
sa Philippines, we took a lot for granted.
So
Dito,
maganda talaga yung pagpapalaki ni mama at saka ni dad. Kasi at the end of the day, even at your young age, nakuha na yung discipline eh. Now, between your dad and your mom, sinong disciplinarian? Parang hindi naman si Bill eh. Parang si Bill happy-go-lucky lang.
Dad would be the one to spoil us kasi. So that was, doon ako bumilib sa mom ko ngayon. Whereas before, we kind of vilified her in a way. Kasi when we were younger, syempre, Dad, we would only see him ever so often.
Yeah.
Kasi he would be stationed away. So instead of mom, telling us how things are, or parang let our dad discipline. No, she took on that leadership role. She was the one the disciplinarian. She was so parang she could have deferred it to dad, kumbaga, pero para ma-preserve yung relationship namin with our dad, na every time he comes in, it's only good things. She made sure that she was the one who took on the disciplinarian role para ma-preserve yung relationship namin with dad.
So, when you say disciplinarian, is it your typical Filipino mother na namamano?
Mom, hindi. Yung mga cousins ko, yung mga pamangkin niya na pinapaaral ka, sa kanila kami nakatikip. Pero mom, hindi. She would just be strict with stuff. So, kunwari, yung mga padala ni dad na the money would go to everyone. Pagpapaaral ng mga pinsan ko, household stuff, kung ano man kailangan namin sa school, she would have to manage it. Tapos yung mga pinapadala, kuwari mga chips away, mga ganun. Minsan expired na pag natitikman namin because ayaw niya, since matagal bago yung next batch.
Yes.
Later on ko lang nalaman na tinitipid. Nira-ration out for a good reason. Kami naman as kids, we want it all now. So back then we were like, Mom naman, anong point expired na pag anong point pag yan. We thought it was a bad thing, but now I see it as a good thing that she wanted us to constantly have something that reminded us of dad. Instead of just one and done.
Pero all this time, after you guys migrated to Arizona, to Yuma, hindi na kayo umalis, di ba? You guys stay there.
No, doon na
diba?
talaga. Until I moved out for college.
Okay, tapos you went to high school there. And I know we had a little talk before how good, well, briefly lang, describe mo yung high school life mo, how you were bullied. Kasi uso na pala yung bully noon. Kinukwento mo sa akin in one of our shows.
Starting out, I got bullied a lot. So the sad part was some of the people who were bullying me were other Filipinos na tinatawag ako fob or ano. Buti na lang, there were other Filipinos that were really nice, kind to our family. But there were some na admittedly, akala ko sa kanila pa ako makakahugot ng lakas, especially since I was a newbie. Di pa ako makapag-English ng tama nga, grabe yung accent ko noon. So akala ko sa kanila ako makakuha ng rapport or na parang they could save me and make me feel good and familiar in this new place, strange new place. Sila pa yung nagbubully sa akin. And other races na name na lang para walang controversy. Pero it really taught me a lot then. First, how to stand up for myself and be okay and comfortable in my own skin. That was a really tough and long process. And eventually, even throughout high school, I was able to
That's the time you met all your good friends, right?
Yeah.
Diba?
From 7th grade, si Tyler and Cody.
Si Tyler. I remember.
Tyler and Cody, 7th grade kami
nagtanggol sa'yo. Remember you were telling me sila yung nagtanggol sa'yo when you're being bullied, right? And then to this day, you're still friends with them.
Yeah. I still consider them my best friends.
Yeah.
Sayang lang, I haven't seen or spoken to them in a while because of the pandemic. Tapos magkakaiba kami ng social media na gamit ngayon. Medyo it's hard to busy lahat. It's hard to catch each other online.
Okay, talking about your mom. Okay, watch this,
Hi, Tam. Congrats on your engagement. We are excited to see you. Ingat palagi. I love you. Advance happy birthday. See you soon.
Yeah, nag-usap kami, no? Anyway, hindi talaga siya, sabi niya, hindi niya ako mapahindian.
Yeah, kita mo kinakabahan siya. I can see her fidgeting.
Sabi ni Lorraine, alam mo, kung hindi lang ikaw, hindi niya gagawin yan.
Yeah, exactly. I think ikaw lang makakapagpagawa sa kanya kasi
sabi niya, pag
sure,
ikaw,
she was really nervous.
Pag ikaw, hindi yan tumatanggi. Sabi niya, kasi ikaw nag-request. Kasi sabi ko, kasi I need to have something for Tom. Sabi ko, guess, sabi niya, talaga manonood kami nga, better be nice. Manonood daw siya. Tapos,
buti na lang, magaganda yung mga sinabi ko.
True. So anyway, she's so excited. We'll talk about that in a minute for the big day.
Excited to be a grandma? Hindi na sa akin.
Alam mo naman yun, no? Okay. Alam naman natin na hindi ko na itatanong yung nangyari sa proposal kasi everything is already in the internet. Lahat yata ng possible question, pati yung proposal, pati yung wedding band, pati October.
Na-vlog na din.
Pati memoryado ko na the significant of 18.
Yeah.
Pati yung sing-sing point 18.
All of that is Yeah. I don't remember na mga interviews. Lahat yan
lahat yun pinanood ko. Pep, kay Bielo, lahat. Everything. Para na nga, pwede ko na nga pwede ko isulat.
Documentary.
Yeah. Now, ang tanong ko, what are the 3 things na nagustuhan mo kay Carla? Yun ang walang lumabas nun eh. Ang tinanong lang nila sa'yo sa pandemya. Pero ang tanong ko sa'yo, prior to this, because I know you met her dun sa My Husband's Lover.
The audition.
Yes. And at
then
that time,
during our tour was the longest time we were together. Magkakasama tayo nung tour na yun. And we were acquaintances. We were colleagues pa rin talaga.
At nagsimula talaga yung you saw something different sa My Destiny.
My Destiny na. Doon na talaga.
Yes. Doon na
sa
talaga.
Siguro there's a little bit during the promo tour of So It's You. Pero it was still parang it was from my end lang. I never assumed it was same on her end or anything like that. Parang there was a little bit of something brewing na for me there because that was the first time I started reaching out because medyo sa promo may mga hinihingi from the producers na we weren't comfortable with. So
okay, pero bago tayo nag-jump tayo diyan, the first exposure mo talaga sa show business is when you joined PBB,
yeah.
Double Up, right?
Yeah. That was it talaga. Before that, nothing at all. No show business affiliation.
Ano yun? Basta I know kasi the story pero I want you to hear I want them to hear it from you. Ano yun? Bigla lang bang naisip ni Tom Rodriguez o ni Bartolome before?
Yeah.
Kasi out of nowhere ka eh. Basta nakita na lang ng mga tao sa PBB ka na.
Out of the blue.
Yes, out of the blue. So, walk me to that process. Kasi alam ko yung kwento, pero I cannot tell them. You need to tell them.
Ano yun I came from an internship. I was in school for digital animation.
Yes.
And I did an internship in Hong Kong for a small company there. So nung babalik na sana ako dito, I was gonna intern in a bigger company, like a really prestigious one. Kaso yung nangyari, it was 2008. That was during the recession.
Yes.
I would have to be in a new city, take on probably 2 jobs to survive, and have unpaid internship. So para sabi ko, it might not be feasible. I might have to admit defeat and I'll go into the military, which is like what people expected from me before. So nung papunta na ako doon, I said, okay, if I'm gonna go do it, I wanna, parang here I am trying to make things harder on myself. So hard-headed na. Sabi ko, if I'm gonna go, I wanna do the hardest one. Or I wanna be the best. And at the time, they had the SEAL Challenge program. So they were going through high schools trying to, get people to join that way. So I did the program, and I was talking to a Navy recruiter. So nandun na, Ate Lorraine knew that it wasn't in my heart. My second eldest sister.
Yes.
Alam niya, na-force lang ako that it wasn't where my passion was. So when she saw the audition on TV for PBB in California, she thought that it might be a good excuse to parang get a break lang ng konti. So I'll go in there, do the show, be able to go to the Philippines, be the first one in our family to go back home since we migrated. Tapos come back. And maybe when I come back, things will be better.
Pero mahilig ka na mag-acting noon.
None at all.
Di ba?
The first time I ever said something was, I remember I was a kid, may audition ng Batang X on TV. I thought it would be, you audition to be a real superhero. Para sa parang nagkakaroon ata sila ng book 2 ata or parang sequel ata to Batang X. So they were calling out for an audition. I wanted to. I told my sisters, they laughed at me. So that was the end of that. I was mga 8 years old siguro.
Pero
so no plans talaga.
Nakakatawa kasi yung parang you were interviewed during the audition sa PBB, Double Up.
Yeah.
Nung sa'yo, ano yung talent mo? Sabi mo, you could draw. Eh sabi ni Direct Lauren,
can you dance? I still remember that vividly kasi Ate Lorraine sent me there with her own money. So when they asked me, nasa katal ko na ako, sabi, what can you do, Tom? Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you act? Sabi ko, no, sir, I draw. I was being honest. I was like, okay, yeah, I draw. Okay, thank you. May leave. I was like, wait, what? That's it? Sabi ko, hinga, teka lang. Gusto ko man lang at least masabi ko sa ate ko na I made it to the second round para hindi sayang yung pera niya. What do you guys want me to do? I'll try it out.
So from PBB, nag-guest ka na ngayon. Marami kang ginamaalala mo kaya, di ba? Yeah. Tapos, ang pinaka in my mind, based on what I know of you, based on what I read and also what I heard from you, yung mga little conversation natin, ang talagang nagbigay sa'yo ng break is yung kay Be Careful With My Heart.
Be Careful With My Heart.
Pero prior to that, nung 2012, right? Kasi 2010 yun eh.
Although no, one of my big breaks, Be Careful With My Heart was one that I felt I was part of a family. And it was a big show.
Yes.
Pero one of the ones who gave me a break, I don't know if this has been credited, but I feel like it's owed. Direct Ruel Bayani. Ruel Bayani.
He
fought for me for a Precious Hearts. Na ako yung
nag-lead. Okay.
Yeah. So being a nobody, he really fought for me to have that role, and he took time to really instill in me some discipline, some. So
may nakita siya sa'yo
when it comes to the acting stuff. Yeah. So I have to credit him as one of the people as well who really gambled on me.
Okay.
Pero Be Careful talaga was very memorable. Very, very
pero
memorable.
Yung Be Careful kasi parang ikaw yung tatay nung anak ni Ice, di ba? At the time.
Pards.
Oo, si Pards, yes. Kasi parang hindi matagal dapat yung exposure mo eh.
Yeah, that was
tapos
a 5-day
recurrent, di ba?
Na everyone turned down. So everyone turned it down from Piolo Pascual, Samuel B. Derek, hanggang sa bumaba sa listahan. Siyempre, andun ako sa very bottom, desperado sa trabaho. I said yes to it gladly, and it was supposed to be a 5-day guesting lang. Pero since the people like the rapport and the chemistry ko with the cast, lalo na sa amin ni Ice.
Ni Ice, kasi ang cute nun eh.
Nanganak.
Yeah, si Ice,
friendships talaga were born out of that show. Ako, si Ice, sila Vandolph, sila Nay Ibiang, so lahat kami na nandun.
Pero ang
Si
hindi
Mamang, Tita Divina Valencia.
yeah, kasi that went longer di ba? Kahit na wala ka na eh. Pero one thing na hindi alam ng mga tao, na alam ko, eto siya.
Whoa, Aladdin. Yeah. Kaso Aladdin. No, but
Yes,
even
yung
that's a
Aladdin,
very
di ba?
memorable, very
Yes.
memorable
Kasi
project for
ito,
me.
yeah, which is sa Philippines mo na itong ginawa eh. Pero I think it's almost the same na ginagawa sa Broadway ngayon, di ba?
Yeah, actually, they did it first to Chicago with the same cast, the initial cast, sila Adam Jacobs.
Yes.
Who's Filipino as well.
Yes, yes.
Sila yung original talaga doon, but they wanted to bring the material to Broadway and rework it. So they wanted to put back old Alan Menken songs and Howard Ashman. So yung mga songs nila talaga that were cut out from the movie, they wanted to put back. So ni-rework lang nila. And while they were trying to see if workable na yung current iteration, trinay nila through Disney Asia dito sa Philippines. And I auditioned for the role.
Atlantis, right? Through Bobby Garcia.
Since I never really sang, yung ate ko, Ate Lorraine, the one who sent me to the audition sa PBB, siya yung theater fan. So even when I auditioned for that and I got the role, I called her telling her I got the good news. I was like, sinong binayaran mo? Are you sure?
Pero nakakatawa kasi
I was doing theater.
Yung first time na nag-meet tayo for a show dito sa LA, you were singing, dala ka pa nga yung Bose yung parang speaker. And you, Dennis, was with me, with of course, my good friend.
Sa Apple Store sa New York ko yung nabili during our tour.
Yeah, and you were singing. Kasi I watched Aladdin, di ba? From the movie. Tapos you were saying yung riff rap, and you were, the whole time you were like moving. Can you do a line or so of that? Kaya mo pa ba? Kumanta nung portion of that. Go ahead.
And then, riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. If only they look closer, would they see a poor boy? No, siree. They'd find out there's so much more to me.
Alam mo, a lot of people doesn't know. They do not know. People do not know na ikaw, you could do that. Di ba? I was telling you, bakit di ka sa Broadway? Di ka
nagulat eh. Pero we got from Broadway there. I think we got some accolade. I think a crossover artist. We got some and when they were auditioning here, they retained sila Adam Jacobs for the role sa Singapore. Pero nagpa-audition sila dito. I auditioned, Kayla auditioned. Kayla was in the short list to be the to be the Jasmine there sa Broadway.
Parang nag-circle yan eh. Kasi nung pumunta ka ng Broadway, I know you watch it eh. Kasi nakita ko pa yung mga, meron ka pang picture sa lap, ganyan-ganyan.
Yeah, I was there with si Popoy. I watched it with Popoy. I was singing. Sabi ni Popoy, utang ng loob, Tom, don't sing. Sabi ko, I'll try my best.
Kasi memoryado mo eh, di ba? The whole time.
Konti lang yung differences.
At ito nakakatawa kasi that I remember that kasi talagang may speaker ka pa talaga. Tapos
sabi nung nag-start na yung
ikaw, ako,
we were watching the actual
si Dennis, tapos tayo lang tapos memoryado mo lahat, di ba? Grabe itong tao na to.
Even the dialogue, it took me. Ngayon medyo hazy na.
Pero did you know that marunong ka talagang kumanta? Na may boses ka talaga?
No, it was it was everything that I'm doing for work. So acting, singing, dito ko natutunan. So sa States, I was never really the singer of the family. I would sing, I became comfortable lang pag nagja-jam kami magkakaibigan. Kami nila Tyler, nila Cody. It was Tyler and Cody who first encouraged me to be able to do it while we're nasa magka-camping kami lagi. We play guitar. Pero never, hindi siya seryoso. Nung nag-start ako dito na sa showbiz, sinali ako sa there was a boy group called Voice Boys. So yung nagmamanage mo yung nanay-nanayan ko, si Tita Georgie Alonso.
Pero teka muna, pinaltan mo si Ronnie Liang, di ba?
Ronnie Liang nag-solo.
Kailan mag-solo, so ikaw yung pumalit.
Sabi ko, Tita, I don't sing. Sabi niya, okay lang, ito lang daw. Okay. Buti na lang. Yung mga kasama ko doon. Yeah, buti na yung mga kasama ko doon, magagaling. And I learned from them. So through their and the people that we met along the way. So Sir Venny Saturno was the one who did our album then. We did it in their studio. So he would take time to work with me kasi walang lumalabas na boses pag nasa first time ko sa studio with the mic like this sa booth. Parang takot ako ilabas yung boses. So people like that, people who were experts in their craft would teach me, impart something in me. So I've been very lucky with a long chain of capable people that have empowered me throughout my whole career.
All those kasi ang galing talaga eh. Pag yung when I get to know more about you, talagang parang nag-align ng universe. A good example,
Yeah,
2010,
that's how it always feels.
diba ang weird? Well, it's not weird. It's a blessing, really.
Yeah,
Kasi
in hindsight.
think about it. In 2011, I remember vividly, ni-remake ang Temptation Island, which is a Joey Concepcion. Tapos, very famous ka doon kasi ikaw lang yung naka-brief throughout the whole film. Red brief pa yata, parang maroonish, di ba? The whole time.
Pulang boxers ko.
Oo, tapos si Umberto, di ba? I think that's your character, si Umberto. Na naging partner naman ni Primetime Queen.
Everyone was from GMA.
Yes.
During that time, baliktad pa. Everyone's from GMA. Ako lang yung ABS nun na nandun at that time.
At ikaw lang yung pinag-brief the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time, di ba?
The whole,
right after
parang I had to get used to being in my underwear.
Island na, the brief ka na the whole time, di ba? Yung red brief.
Sometimes, kahit walang take, wala, yun na lang. I was wearing that pa din kasi my next scene, yun yung suot ko. So parang nasanay na lang. Ay, yung roommate ko pa nun, while I was testing out all my underwear, si Mama Sweet, John Lapus. Kami mag-roommate. So sa kanya, nasanay na lang. Naglalakad-lakad ako, naka-underwear lang.
Now, talk to us. Aside, siyempre nakilala ka na dyan, may recall na. Biglang ginawa mo ang Here Comes the Bride.
Here Comes the Bride was the very first. That was 2010.
The first with Angelica Panganiban, right?
Si Tita Georgie was co-producer there. So even her, it's people like that I was lucky enough na would gamble on me. So I know sila Tita Mariol at the time sa Star Magic, they wanted someone like Derek Ramsey for the role. Someone who was established na and really hunky, really macho, manly. Tita Georgie's point was, you have all of these established actors na, big names. Why don't we give this as a vehicle for someone starting out? And since she saw me in PBB, she saw something in me daw. She fought for that role. People were against her, her judgment na ako yung isali doon. She fought for it and I was very, very glad because it was a catalyst din for me for many, many things. Biro mo, my first movie was award-winning. Kahit saan pusa lang ako doon.
At all-star cast yun.
Yeah.
Nandun si Uge, nandun Panganiban, nandun si... Ang dami nila, di ba? John Lapus was even there.
Yeah, doon kami magkakasama nila Mama Sweet din.
Yeah, grabe yun. To this
day.
Grabe.
Can you imagine for someone like me, a newbie, that's your first foray into show business? My first role was with Direk Rory Quintos and si Jake Cuenca and Christine Reyes. So I got to work with people who were at the top of their field. So that was at the same time while I was doing that, I was doing the movie Here Comes the Bride, na puro star-studded then. So you start seeing a culture of professionalism and what can be done with the craft. So it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth kasi I was about to leave it. I used to think in a negative way na cheesy yung show business, ganun. So after PBB, I wanted to go home and they urged me to do a workshop and take on these 2 roles. And that's where I saw, no, this is a craft. This is there's an art to this. And I was hooked from then on. Kaya I'm thankful. Like you say, in hindsight, it's easy to see, things worked out. But really, it was, things happened for a reason.
Yeah,
if one thing happened differently, I wouldn't be where I am now. If I worked with other people besides them at that time, I might have quit and I might have left.
Correct. Tapos
or not appreciated the work.
2011 yun, 2012, nag-Aladdin ka. 2013, eto na, lumipat ka na sa GMA. Di ba? Okay, tapos, eto yun.
Before that, there's tell you a quick trivia.
Go ahead.
Tawid yan from Be Careful with My Heart to My Husband's Lover. Since nagpaalam ako before I auditioned for MHL, may basbas ako from our producers since guest role lang ako doon. So they were kind enough na hinayaan nila ako na they closed my character off in a nice way na bumalik ako sa Dubai
Yes.
yung character ko.
Yung
So my
character
last
mo.
taping day doon, kasama ko si Arnil, yung PA ko, he's here with me sa room. Andun lang, nagtatago lang. Nagdadrive ako, puyat ako after ng buong day ng taping namin. Nakasalamin ako, my eyeglasses, my reading glasses, and I have my shades kasi hindi ko mabuksan yung mata ko. Nag-drive kami all the way to the plug shoot of my husband's lover. So from Pila, Laguna, nag-drive ako all the way to, I think it was in the Fort or Makati, yung shoot. So my last day sa Be Careful was my first day sa my husband's lover. Literal, tawid.
Pero,
Not many people know.
well, yung ano yan milestone talaga my husband's lover. Kasi bago
for
pa na
me, it's
uso
one that
yung mga
changed my life.
BL na yan ngayon,
Yep.
yung
Ngayon,
boy love na yan. Husband's lover talaga. Diyan huminto ang mundo.
At least may BL element pa rin, although ML na yung sa amin later on.
Yeah.
Pero sa first part, andun pa rin yung high school kami. So technically,
Did you really,
BL
ito yung parang urban legend 'di ba? Yung parang hindi talaga alam. Did you really audition for Vincent, or that role was given to supposedly to Dennis, and Dennis wants to play something else? Paano ba nangyari? Ikaw ba talaga si Eric o ikaw si Vincent? How does it work?
For his part, all I know is I don't know if iba yung nangyari, pero from what I know, Popoy told me that they were offering a role to him to choose from. So whether to choose the husband role or the lover role, he wanted to do the lover role because he'd already done the husband roles in the past.
So many times.
So that one, he had his pick of the litter, kumbaga. Carla naman was already lali talaga from the get-go. I remember I was coming from Malal kasi yung mangyayari sa Be Careful, kami sa Pila, Laguna, yung family sa Laguna.
Yes.
Doon kami lagi na set. So yung ginagawa nila minsan, they would compile all of our scenes. Usually one taping lang yon or 2 taping days, mga ganon. Hindi naging regular na guesting. So while I was waiting for work, I was watching TV lang. I remember at the time, tumawag si Popoy. He said, "There's an audition tomorrow for a role." Game, Poy, I'm ready to work. So wala pa nga, excited na ako. Okay, hang on, let me finish first. It's ano ka, husband ni Carla Abellano. Oh, game, even more so. Sige, game. Wait, let me finish. Then you'll be with Dennis here. You'll be his partner. Okay, magkapatid kami dito, magkaribal. Okay, game, sige. No, partner mo siya dito. What do you mean partner? Like, he's your lover here. And you're good. Whoa. Okay, hang on, Poy. Yung apprehension ko, it wasn't out of homophobia or anything like that. My apprehension actually was a complete opposite. Sabi ko, teka lang, Poy, I'm a newbie actor. Takot ako na baka maging mali yung portrayal ko, maging caricature yung portrayal ko, and I might offend a whole group of people who are humans if I don't breathe life into this role. Baka hindi ko pa kaya. Sabi niya, well, audition pa lang naman. Just go, audition, do your best, and if it's for you, then it's for you. Kung hindi, okay lang, we move on to something else. Sabi ko, okay, sige, in that way, nawala yung pressure for me. So he sent me 2 things. He sent me the sample script for the reading, for the audition, and he sent me the film, yung All My Life ata yun, yung kay Vilma, kay Luis and John Lloyd. And what a movie. Na sabi ko, I want to try it out.
Okay, doon sa po hindi nakakaalam kung sino po yung si Popoy Garatativo, ito po siya.
Ang napakaganda kong manager. Manager na namin ni Carla ngayon.
Do you know that I took this picture? Sa San Diego to
Can you see?
Yeah, this one. Yan. Ay, teka, yun.
Yun, yeah. I remember that sa San Diego.
Oo, sa parking lot. Sabi, just picture tayo, picture. Okay, fine. Oo, di ba? Tama. Okay, so siya po si Popoy ang hanggang ngayon, right?
Malaales Dixon ko manager. Yeah, manager na namin ni Carla pareho.
Pero kailan ka nag-start sa kanya? Lumipat ka sa GMA or sa ABS pa lang?
No, ABS pa lang. Funny thing, weird how things are interconnected. Kasi when I was in Popoy and I's relationship is a funny one. Ang habang kwento, I don't know if matutuhog ko but when I was in ABS, I was still struggling. I had a network contract, but I was struggling for work. Hindi na fulfill yung mga nasa contract ko.
Yeah.
And Popoy was the one na was managing me at that time. He told me to wait things out. That's why I appreciated that from Popoy. Instead of burning bridges, let's wait out the contracts. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt if they have a plan for you. Kung wala, then we'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
So it was a very clean transition. So even my transition from Star Magic to Popoy, I told Star Magic, Popoy was already helping me out quietly lang. He didn't want to impose. But I told Star Magic I wouldn't be renewing, and they understood. So it's nice that every time we had may formal na paalam. Pero yung sa amin ni Popoy noon, sa Temptation Island kami nag-meet. Ako lang yung ABS, sila lahat. Ayaw niya sa akin kasi I auditioned for Amaya when I was in TV5. I didn't have work in ABS noon at that time. Nag-audition ako sa, I was doing my Driver Sweet Lover sa TV5. After my stint there, I auditioned for Amaya in Channel 7. Nung nalaman, nakarating sa ABS na nag-audition ako doon, bigla they offered me a contract. And Popoy, not knowing him pa, it's Marian's show eh. He was Marian's manager.
Yes.
He was calling me, telling me na kasi bigla I changed my mind na I didn't want to do it kasi sabi sa akin people from ABS at that time told me na what happened to Willie might happen to me kasi dapat my first option yung network.
Yes,
If I go to 7 I might be in legal trouble. I was naive at the time. I got scared. So sabi ko, hindi, Popoy was calling me. I didn't know him at the time. Sabi ko, with all due respect, sir, I'm sorry, but I have to go by what my network is telling me. I'm sorry. So he wanted to talk to me about what was going on, why I was backing out from Amaya. Parang siya yung tinap ng management ng GMA ata to talk to me. So he was very offended. He didn't like me. He didn't even want me to be partnered up with Marian sa Temptation Island. Kaya buti na lang when we were both in the movie Temptation Island, he got to hear my side of the story. And when he got to confirm it with his friends then in the industry na, totoo yung sinasabi ng batang to, he gave me advice and we got to talk. And actually at that time, I didn't have work anymore after Temptation Island. In Temptation Island, I was happy to be there because I was eating because I didn't have money for food. So after that, I was going to go home to the States. I remembered Popoy told me, okay, if you have any questions, here's my email, here's my number then. So when nasa States na ako, sabi ko, Poy, I'm here in the States. I'm thinking of staying for good. But I remember what you told me, kaya I wanted to reach out and ask your advice if I'm doing the right thing. That's when he said, nasabi niya, enjoy your time there, spend time with your family, just take a breather. How about we do this? Give it one last try. Oh, parang yun
Parang kanta.
One last try. Yeah, one more try. Parang ganun. Yeah. One last try. I'll manage you. And we'll see where it goes. So sabi ko, okay, sige po. And I went back to the States for that.
Well respected talaga sa community.
Very, and he's been super respectful to me throughout the whole time I've known him. He's been nothing but cordial, respectful, and I love the guy because he's family. That's how he treats us.
Ang tagal mo na rin sa kanya. Siya lang naging manager mo di ba? Siya lang.
No, from before, dito sa GMA, yeah. Kasi from before, I had Star Magic ako because of PBB. Then I co-managed with Tito Boy Abunda for a while. Pero nung Popoy talaga, grabe.
Since I met you kasi Popoy karatatibo ka na eh.
And he's never let me down. I love that guy.
Oo naman he really knows how to fight for his talents.
Yeah.
That I know.
He's never steered me wrong. Yeah, he's never steered me wrong.
So from My Husband's Lover, ang hindi alam ng ibang tao, naging host ka rin ng game show, di ba?
Yeah.
Don't Lose the Money or something, right?
I auditioned for that then. That's where I learned the value. Here's a cool story. Not many people know this kasi siguro it's a story that not many people will tell. Baka ma-misinterpret.
Yeah.
Pero even how I got that role, it taught me a lesson in knowing what's for you and what's not for you.
Yeah.
So before that, we got a role for a show for news and public affairs. It was a Jose Rizal role, Ilustrado. And me being a history geek, I love Jose Rizal. So I wanted to do it. I was excited. Kasi yung problema, I was doing another show at the time. They wanted to do it now. So hindi kaya ng schedule ko. Akala ko baka pwedeng mahintay pa ako or ano. So they ended up getting Alden for the role, which was perfect for him.
Yeah.
Ang ganda. Pero at that time, I'm very proud of myself na wala akong naramdamang inggit or anything like that. I just simply, in my instinct, sabi ko, it's not for me.
Yeah, pero
parang for some reason I knew it na
parang the whole time na nakilala ka, that was ikaw yung parang si Carla Parang si
Yeah,
Cars.
walang inggit is
Parang
not part of our
walang masamang
vocabulary.
tinapay. Alam mo yun? Yung
Yeah,
kayong dalawa.
for me
perfect
kasi everyone
combination
has a slice of how I vision it. Parang if the industry is a pie, everyone has a slice for them.
Correct.
So if it goes to you, para sa iyo talaga yung pie na yun. So when it didn't go to me, I knew right away, hindi para sa akin. Okay, so something else must be for me. Something else must be coming. Bigla, the next day, the audition for Don't Lose the Money came. And I auditioned for it. Same thing. I thought I messed up. I thought I bombed the audition. Sabi ko, hindi na para sa akin. Hindi ko rin makukuha yun. And I was surprised. Doon pa ako nakuha and I really enjoyed my time there. I picked up and learned a new skill. So sabi ko, it was reaffirmation na tama ako whenever you resign yourself to him and you just get what's for you. Whatever is for you will come to you. That you don't worry about what other people are having or you don't worry about spilled milk. Basta kung ano yung para sa'yo, darating at darating. So I learned to really trust him. Parang it was vindication or reaffirmation. Because throughout my whole stay here, from paying rent, mga ganun, times na hindi mo alam kung paano babayaran yung rent, but something would come. He's always there. So that was one of those moments. Don't Lose the Money was one of those moments for me.
Tapos, di ba, in between yan eh. Tapos, siyempre, meron kayong My Husband's Lover, which we all know and everybody knows to this day. Nireplay pa nga ng Pinoy TV yan eh. Anyways, one of the thing na nung nag-tutor kayo kasi it was so many cities eh, 'di ba? Parang from north to south
20 days tayo nun.
Oo, tapos pagdating sa LA, yung behind the scene, we want to surprise you. We want to see you cry. So
okay, akala ko naman
you remember
yung
this?
PlayStation 4. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, tapos
umiiyak pa ako sa ano dyan, no? I look like I'm crying sa picture.
Oo, ito yun kasi hindi mo talaga alam. Wala ka talagang alam.
Wala, I knew they were in the audience. Kaya the whole time I was singing, I couldn't see, di ba? Lights lang yung nakita ko, tas dark, di ko makita yung crowd. I was pretending to sing to them. Akala ko nandun sila.
No,
they started coming up.
Kami lahat.
I had no idea. So,
kami,
the whole time, kinakantahan ko sila.
Kinukyo ko sila. Sabi ko, okay, hindi pa tayo nung nabigla ka. Tapos, it was...
Sobra. Wala na.
Alam
Kasi
mo,
hindi na ako makakanta ng tama. Yung tono ko nawawala.
Lahat ng tao sa audience, umiiyak.
Really?
Kasi nakita talagang walang dry eyes doon talaga. Yung talagang people were sobbing talagang. And we didn't do that for the drama. We just want to make sure. Kasi parang ang tagal mo na hindi sila nakikita eh. The whole family. Tapos biglang nakita mo sa stage. So yun ang nangyari.
I couldn't help it. Sabi, si Ate Lorraine pa bumulong sa akin. Kasi wala na ako sa tono eh. Kasi umiiyak na ako. Hello, Tom, nagkakalat ka na. Tom, wala ka na sa tono. I know.
Pero grabe, doon kami naging close ng papa ni dad mo eh. Kasi we were chit-chatting eh. Tapos kinukwento niya, marunong ako mag-Tagalog. Tapos yayabang-yabang niya sa akin yung mga Tagalog words niya. Tapos
favorite pa naman nun yung manggulat.
Oo. Tapos kasi di ba, he's really white as an apple pie. Pero all of a sudden,
favorite
Tagalog.
Every time may mga mag-uusap ng Tagalog, sabi niya, ayoko may nagtatagalog dito.
Oo. Tapos, may sasabihin siya sa akin, masishock ka ng konti. Ha?
So magulat sila, marunong ka pala mag-Tagalog.
Oh, and we were like on the side talaga, waiting for the cue. Yeah, that's why I need to go that eh. Tapos, while you're doing the series
Hey,
also.
It's Me nga ata yung yung kinakanta ko doon. Hey, It's Me, yung kinakanta ko while
tama. Tapos syempre, di ba, while you're doing that, My Husband's Lover at saka si Eric at saka si Vincent, naging pambansang love team yan eh.
Yeah, until now. I'm so shocked that people are still messaging me about it. Na ngayon lang nila napapanood. So it's very heartwarming. Grabe.
And most of the people, they do not know, nag-recording artist ka pa, di ba?
Yeah.
Di ba?
Sabi ko nga from Voice Boys na 4 kami, boy group, naging duo.
And this was, ano to, di ba?
Nag-platinum kami. Platinum or double platinum, I can't remember.
Yes. Imagine, di ba? Sa ba? Di ba?
Yeah, that was Popoy's idea lang yun.
Idea?
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Iba talaga nagawa ng Eric at saka Vincent Love Team eh.
Tapos, we didn't know how people were gonna take that.
May Vincent Eric, tapos merong Vincent Lali.
Yeah. Tapos nasabi nga at least nagkatuluyan si Vincent Lali sa totoong buhay.
Tapos doon nga nakirate yung mga fan club ni Cars na Munchkins.
Tom Car, yung Munchkins.
Tapos they call you Daddy.
May Tom din dati.
Mom,
may
diba?
Tom din na group din. Mommy Daddy, yeah.
Tapos may Tom, yeah, that's true. May Tom din the group din. Now, aside from that, you did a lot of movies. What was the first movie you and Carla did? Was it So It's You?
So It's You. So It's You was the
Okay.
first one we did. Right after My Husband's Lover yun. Right after the tour.
Okay. Tapos, pero wala
Tapos
pang
we
ano yun,
did,
di ba? It's just platonic pa kayo noon, di ba?
platonic pa.
Okay. Tapos nung 2015, eto na, another milestone sa career mo.
Yeah.
Yung itong soap na to ni-remake ni Marian at ni Ding Dong, ni-remake naman yon ni Miss World 2013 Megan Yap. And you played Seryo, right?
Yeah, I did. Weird story. Here's another one for your show na not many people know of. One of my really good friends
Nakita mo?
who's also my trainer. Yeah, yung katawan na yun, kailangan may balik ko. Gawa yan Billy James. Billy James Casarena yung trainer ko is one of my best friends. He was the one who trained me for everything that I've had to train for here. So, kailangan kondisyon yung katawan. Laging hinanain ko sa kanya, bakit lagi pag nakakondisyon yung katawan ko, wala akong project, hindi nakikita. Every time na kukunin ako ng fashion show or kukunin ako ng men's health, ganun, wala na, pabayaan na yung katawan ko. Bakit ganun lang? Sabi ko, ayoko na mag-workout. Sabi, hindi. Yung nakikita ko sa'yo, parang seryo. Parang dingdong na seryo. O di kaya, Captain Barbell daw na Richard Gutierrez. Kaya yan, todo mo lang. Sabi ko, sige na nga, makikinig lang ako sa'yo. Lo and behold, my next role after that, seryo. Santibanez
Yes.
sa Mari-Mari. Sabi ko, bro, nagdilang angel ka. Paano nangyari yun?
Pero one of the things talaga na pinag-usapan to this day, at nakikita ko pa rin sa mga, when I go to Manila and visit, itong mga pictures na to,
yung mga bench. Bench ads. That one was in Cuba.
This is the very controversial.
Oh, yeah. Kami ni Dennis.
Remember this?
Si Billy yung nag-train sa amin pareho for that.
This one.
That was my last one, 2017.
Now,
after nun, sabi ko, retire na ako.
A lot of people, kasi we advertise na mag-guest ka they're asking me, can you please tell him or ask him, paano niyo nakuha itong body na look na ito? So, is that a hard, is this something that you would recommend or was this a crash diet?
For that crash diet, I don't want to do it again like that. Although kasi I was doing 2 projects at the time. So yung problema namin was time. We didn't have time to bulk up. So I had to lose a lot of weight fast. Although we tried to do it as healthily as possible. It's something that I don't think my body can handle. Achievable siya if you would do it gradually. But for some, we had to do it fast. So in 2 weeks, I had to be in shape. So yung kinakain ko lang, kamote, steamed tuna for all my meals. Na pwedeng lemon and pepper. Lemon and pepper lang yung sahog niya. That's all I would eat. Tapos for every time you would take a bite of the tuna, it was like cardboard, sobrang dry. Gusto mong lumagok ng tubig. Bawal. That was one of the things we cut out.
Kasi kailangan talagang dumikit.
So yung tubig ko, para yung water weight, tubig ko so I could get rid of the water weight. So kaya I made that my last. Sabi ko, last ko na, when they wanted to renew, out of respect, sabi ko, I love bench for what they've done for me. Pero sabi ko, out of respect for my own body, my own health. Lalo na since lagi, every time there's a bench fashion show, kasabay siya na I'm doing multiple projects, movie and series. So sabi ko,
Pero yung runway yung dalawa ni Dennis, most applauded yun Yung
sa 2013.
I think lumabas yata muna si Dennis tapos ikaw tapos may babae tapos
beat kami tapos magkikis sana
di ba? Parang sigaw na yung mga tao.
Tapos bigla yung mga babae.
Tapos kinuha kayong dalawa. Tapos you did pa, aside from that, meron ka pa mga pictures na talagang dito shot in Cuba, right? Punta kayo ng Cuba?
That's Cuba. Kami nila Lovey, bench din.
Lovey, kayong dalawa, di ba? This is for bench also, right?
Yeah. That was when we were doing someone to watch over me. So when we were doing the project, we flew to Cuba.
Itong picture na to ba, kayo na ba ni Carla yan? Wala pa, no? Tour pa
yan. See, dito lang, Sir Josh.
Sorry.
No, that was My Husband's Lover na concert.
Oo.
Yeah,
so
wala pa yan. That's the first concert. First concert pa yan, yung dito muna sa Manila na concert.
Kasi yan yung,
wala pa,
yung damit na yan ang ginamit sa mga standees
Yeah,
Ni
Yeah,
Carla
kasi
yung
yun yung
red dress
parang
na yan.
ginamit na template sa tour natin. Pero I think from that one, sa ano yun, sa concert.
Oo, tapos di punta kayo dito, 'di ba? Tapos this to me, this is one of the akong kumuha nito eh. That's why I know.
Ah, pati
Ito
nga.
yan, oh. Remember? Kita mo?
Yeah. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Diyan kami na yun.
Oo, alam ko. Dito, kayo na
Yeah.
nito eh. Hindi to sa
Kami
tour
na
eh. Ito
dyan.
yung
The
sa
whole
isang show
family is there.
natin. Oo.
Bo, si Ate Lovell lang ata yung wala, no?
Oo, siya lang wala. Kumpleto kayo dyan eh. Di
Yeah.
ba?
I
Di
miss
ba?
Dad's
Grabe.
famous Hawaiian
Memories.
shirt and his
Oo,
cargo
oo,
shorts.
tapos your dad pangats like that eh. Tapos ito yung dito talaga tiri-eye lahat. Di ko alam. Yan.
Yeah.
Di
No,
ba?
Pops. I miss that guy so much.
I know.
Oh,
We all do. Lalo naman si
yeah.
mama mo. So, tapos,
Lalo.
tapos, eto pa, ang dami mong mga pictures na talagang to this day, lumalabas pa rin eh. If you click.
Yeah, minsan nakikita ko may nagtatag pa rin sa akin ng mga yan. Yeah, that was in Cuba. So doon sa mga shot na yan, hindi ako nakapag-workout ng todo kasi I was doing TV series
At the time.
at the time. Kaya hindi na itodo, hindi kami nakapaghanda. Unlike pag may fashion show talaga na kahit walang oras, I'll make time to work out. Kaya naalala ko tumatawa si Lovie dun kasi habang nagte-taping kami, may mga dala akong mga dumbbell para last minute nasa vegan kami. Para magkalaman yung katawan ko kahit papaano.
Okay, dun sa balik natin sa dad mo because ano yung mga lessons, life lesson na tinuro niya sa iyo. Okay, life lesson na natatandaan mo na tinuro ni dad sa iyo, ni daddy.
Not really turo explicitly, but we learn from his examples. One I really loved about him na I'd love to think na pick up ko kahit papaano is he would always help people. Kuwari we would be at the stables. It was a community stable eh.
Mm-hmm.
Kumbaga, there was a community when we moved. There was one stable, na community stable. So it was a bunch of different people having their horses there. And I remember every time we would pass, going to our own stable na, he would stop by. Oh, may cart na naiwan dito. Oh, may car na ano. He'll move things. I was like, Dad, don't touch that. That's not ours. No. Yeah, I know whose this is. It's been left out. He'll pack it away. Ililigpit niya. At hindi sa kanya, out of respect to someone. It was just something he would do. He would see someone that would need help. Okay, I'll stop. So joke lagi ni mom sa kanya, bayani to make him mad. But really, that's how he was. If he saw someone that was in trouble, he would go out. He would help. So it was something na I tried to emulate. And one thing I loved about him is he would always allow my curiosity to learn, to flourish. For example, I remember there's something that I want to do to my own kids or with my own kids. Batang-bata pa ako, I was maybe like 5 years old. Mga ganong edad. I would see him operate the computer. So he would turn it off, take it apart, put it back together. After he would do it, gagayahin ko. So pag umalis na siya, on ko yung computer, I ended up breaking the computer. Pero imbis na magalit siya sa akin, imbis na paluin niya ako kung ano man, what he did the next day, he would have me next to him. Mas ginawa niya palalo. Yeah. Na matuto ako. So at a young age, I knew how to take computers apart, put them back together. So it's he encouraged that. So imagine if he got mad at me for being curious. Then baka hindi ko na apply yun o naman na later on. Maybe I would be scared of new experiences. Maybe I would scared to learn or try new skills.
Correct.
So never siya nakita sa akin because of that. Because he would always empower me to learn, to try new things that I was into. And kaya natuto ako umarte, natuto ako kumanta.
What are the things you miss about your dad?
Everything.
Talaga.
He's just a friend. I just miss his presence. Miss he was like a beacon for me. Yeah. For things that I wanted to aspire to. He was my hero. He still is. He is like a superhero to me. I miss his companionship.
Ngayon ko na lang nga ikaw nakikita na hindi ka na masyadong teary-eye eh. Yung mga first few years, pag nag-uusap tayo and we talk about si Daddy Bill, yung nag-iiba yung mukha mo, hindi ka galit pero yung nostalgic.
Yeah. Andun siya. I think it's becoming at peace. I remember a lot of the things that I had to work out with was that loneliness and longing. I realized I was mourning for myself, selfishly, because I missed him. But really for him, I didn't believe at the time when he told me he was ready to go. I was clinging to it. No, hindi, you fight. And only later on did I realize na for him, that journey, his journey with God in this world, it's really over. So really we were in grief for ourselves because we miss him.
And people do not know that he can sing really well, di ba? Naayos mo ba yun? Kasi di ba yung mga recordings
siya yung kumakanta talaga. Siya yung mahilig sa karaoke sa akin.
Kasi during the wait, di ba, yung boses niya yung kumakanta, di ba? Ang ganda ng boses niya. Nalinis mo ba? Nalinis mo yung mga tapes niya? Di ba you were planning to...
I tried as best as I could, pero ang hirap pa, wala pa yung technology doon. But I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep doing it. Ano ko siya, pet project ko siya na malinis. Kasi kanya-kanya niyang setup lang yun eh. So,
yung boses niya may tunog sa'yo. Tunog, may hawig. Some of them, not all of them.
Yeah, pero I try to follow it pa rin. I still have them here. I still play them from time to time. And I loved it na we were able to let them listen to it in his final moments. It was such a peaceful, na sabi ko, grabe, if I would want to go, I would love to go the same way, surrounded by loved ones. Na we were playing it and I could see his mouth kind of move. So I would ask him, Dad, are you singing along to yourself? Sabi niya, yeah. So it's nice na even in his final moments, he was singing along in his mind to his own songs. May mga Freddie Aguilar siyang mga kanta.
Kasi I remember, di ba, I went to the wake, tapos pinapatugtog yung background, yung mga songs niya.
Yeah.
Di ba? Parang, di ba? Even during the funeral itself, yung sa church.
So imagine this, even before pa, there's a Coco Pa Casino sa Yuma, Arizona. Mom would be in the slot machine, Dad would be sa karaoke. Tapos may dala siyang sariling CD, binder ng CD. Yung ipe-play niya, puro mga Mexicano tsaka mga puti yun nandun. Pero ipe-play niya, Freddie Aguilar. Freddie Aguilar kakantayin niya. So, what a trip. And yet, when I went there to watch him sing or to sing along with him pag nasa karaoke, everyone is into it. Hindi naman nila naiintindihan. Pero they're all into it. He had that quality na mapapa-join ka siya kung ano yung trip niya.
Yung dad mo kasi very siya accommodating. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Yung hindi siya suplado for...
He makes friends with everybody.
Yes, at parang ang bilis, parang pag nakaupo ka, lalapitan ka niya.
Parang everywhere you go eh. That was the case. When we went to visit him sa ship niya, where he worked, everyone was like his friend. Even though he was the boss, it felt like everyone was his friend. Grabe, yung trato nila sa amin was an extension of how he treated them. Kaya akala ko dun lang yun sa work. But when I went to that karaoke place in Coco Pa Casino, when I went there, it was like a community. The same thing. It was like I was back at the ship. Everyone there was his friend na. Parang he became friends with everyone who was there, the regulars. He just had that quality na it makes you feel like he's been a long time friend, and he builds communities wherever he goes. He has those special relationships with everyone. Same thing he did with you. That was just his quality. He and it's not a put on. He really makes meaningful relationships with everyone.
And you know what? Walang humpay na pasasalamat lagi siya. That's one thing that if ever ma-remember ko siya, it's being grateful.
I remember he would he held you in high regard. I remember for all that you've done para sa amin, especially with all of the shows.
Kaya nga, di ba, sabi niya, mot ka na ha, mot.
Yeah.
Sige po.
Yeah, when he says stuff like that, he means it. Yun yung nakuha ko naman na pag tumaya ako sa isang tao, it's for life.
Yeah.
Na ganun din. I got that from my dad. Na if I say your family, we mean it. We're gonna stick to it till the end.
Sayang nga lang, sometimes I feel like it would have been nicer kung nandyan siya, nakikita niya.
Yeah, ako, I miss it. But then I realized or to see now we're getting married, have kids. Andun pa rin yung kurot.
I know.
Andun pa rin yung kurot.
He's so enamored with Carla. I know that. Love na love niya si Carl.
Mas parang minsan pinagsisilosan ko eh. I'm like, Dad, ha? Grabe, sobrang love niya si Carl. I'm glad they got to meet each other and have that relationship as well.
Yeah, I think the whole family.
Yeah.
Maganda kasi sa pamilya mo, it's so easy to get in. Diba?
Yeah.
Parang hindi effort talaga. Whether sila
walang pader naman kami. I mean, we just, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, si Walter, si William. Si William is very introvert pero maloko rin yung bunso,
pero
diba?
pa rin, accommodating pa rin. Yeah. He's the more introverted one out of all of us. Pero ano pa din.
Sige na,
So,
ipapakita ko na to. Ito lang yung medyo papakita ko na kasi nga, sabi ko, I'm not gonna touch on the proposal and all that. But this one is such a lovely picture.
oh,
Nice prints to, di
grabe.
ba?
It's so Carla. It's so Carla.
Kasi
That
I remember you telling me na magpo-propose ka prior to pandemic tapos hindi natuloy so I was texting you. Ano na
dapat
to?
ano yun? Ipinaalam, di ba?
Nawala ka. Teka, nawawala ka. Tommy, nag-freeze ka. It's okay.
Yeah, ikaw din, you're
Nag-freeze
frozen.
ka.
There you go. You're frozen my
okay.
screen. But
Okay.
di ba remember we did that August tour sa
Yes.
we did the fiestas in San Francisco, in Texas. in Florida.
Yes.
After I went kila mom for her birthday.
Yes.
So there, sinabi ko na sa kanila na, okay, I'm planning on doing it. I'm gonna it on her birthday na next year. Tapos bigla, when nandun ako ulit, di ba, every Christmas, New Year, nasa States ako.
Yeah.
I said it again, her birthday, I'm gonna do it na. Tapos bigla, pandemic arrived. Nandun na naman ako, naduwag na naman ako kasi pandemic, paano to, ganito, ganyan. Until one day, I woke up and I remembered something that Tita Connie told me sa Love of My Life namin na taping. So you just resign yourself to him, all your worries and problems, and everything would happen that day. From that day forward, when I knew in my heart it was the right time to do it, everything just fell into place. That's one of the moments na in hindsight, like what you said kanina, you see that everything happens for a reason. I've always seen that, but never really believed in it until I realized the power of resigning yourself.
Yeah.
Every obstacle melted away. I was able to, not me personally lang, I had help from Tita, from sila Arnil, my PA, Tita, yung mom ni Carla and her family.
Yeah.
It was an all-out thing, but we did it in 2 weeks. Carla was surprised.
Yeah.
From making the ring,
kasi
making sure everything.
Carla showed it sa kanyang vlog eh. Ganda.
Yeah.
Grabe,
I made that. I helped.
Ganda. Alam, subscriber ko. Yung hindi pa po nagpo-subscribe kay Carla Abeliana.
Yeah, tsaka she's posting din. Our wedding planning vlog.
Oo, nandun nga.
Tapos ang ganda eh.
Pero nakakatawa kasi, ikaw may vlog pero hindi mo ina-update. Si Carla lagi mas marami.
Siya, steady. Ako wala eh.
Oo, some people ask me, kasi busy siya sa drawing eh. Si Carla kasi...
I had one before. Let me see if I can show this. Hindi ko in-upload, pero I finished it na. Kaso, nawala ko yung version
parang
na...
nakita ko lang talaga na in-upload mo na parang pinanood ko yung minay-kapan mo si Carla. I think sa kanya, sa iyo yata, sa
had one
vlog
where
mo
I
yata
made the
in-upload
ring.
eh.
Let me see. Let me look for it. Hindi ko mahanap yung version na may music eh.
Ikaw gumawa no yung in-upload?
Hindi ko na-upload. Ba't wala dito?
Tapos
nawawala yung sayang, I was gonna look for it eh. Yung video where I made our ring. Or the one where I made her ring. Andito yun eh. Natapos ko na yung upload. I was gonna put it in my vlog.
Kasi ikaw yung nag-design ng ring, di ba? Through the jeweler ni Christian, ni Ian Bautista.
Yeah. I had help from Carla's sister designing the ring. Pero yung making it, I helped. The jeweler allowed me to
the design.
Have participation. So from hammering out, melting the gold.
Wow.
And then
talagang very personalized.
Yeah. So
tapos,
yung hindi ko lang ginawa, yung
viewers po na hindi nakikita, ayan po, ganyan lagi pinagkakulan si Tom pag this was our show yan yung natin
San Francisco Adobo Festival.
San Francisco Adobo Festival, correct.
Adobo Festival, yeah. I miss those events. Nakakamiss sobra. The live interaction with people na ganun kalapit.
Now, would you consider, Tom, you as a person a romantic? Romantic ka ba? And if you are you would you consider yourself romantic?
Siguro if me personally, I would love to think that I am.
Okay, if that's the case, what is the most romantic thing you have done for cars? For Carla? Sorry po kasi I call her Cars eh, pero Carla talaga yun, si Carla.
Yeah, sa kanya yung love language is service eh. So maybe the ones that would be more meaningful to her are those whenever I do acts of Pero I would love to think Ay,
Nag-freeze. Okay.
Yung love language ni Carla kasi is acts of service, one of her love languages. Kaya I would love to think maybe it's one of those. Pero para sa akin, I think she appreciates mga poems that I write her. Every monthsary namin, anniversary, I always write something on the spot. Even during her birthdays, I would always write something from the heart in that moment. I don't plan it. So meaning, like if you check back to her last birthday, I did a video with
Yes.
with a poem and pictures niya. Lahat yun on the spot. I do it on the day of because I don't like preempting it. Gusto ko kung anong nararamdaman ko at the time. So even when
Kaya nga, that's why I asked, that was the lead-in question kasi kung romantic. Kasi napanood ko yun eh. So, grabe to si Tom, oh. Grabe. Pwedeng kopyahin. Now, do you have a song for Carla? May mga kanta ka ba kay Carla na parang ito yung song?
I have a whole playlist. I would show you, but it's on this phone that I'm using right now for this interview.
Pero among those songs na parang encapsulate yung si Carla, ano yung meron bang isa na parang stand out at this point?
I'll show you. Tom's Heart. Never Break is really one that grabe, that hits home to me right now. Because... Never Break. And funny enough, it's number one. There's a playlist na Tom's Heart. I don't know if you can read that. It's Tom's Heart playlist.
Could, yeah.
So yung number one is Never Break. Pero ang dami niya, no?
Oo.
It's all my songs
Never
for her.
Break. Grabe.
Yeah.
Grabe.
We will never break. We will never break. Built on a foundation strong enough to stay. Just that part is so powerful, especially if you hear it in context of what Sila John Legend went through, how powerful that was. But even for me and Carla, it's such a powerful song. It's my affirmation. Whatever problems we go through. Sabi nga ng song, di ba? The world is dangerous. Parang there's so many challenges out there, pero kami dapat unit. Dapat kami unwavering. We have to always work together as a team.
Alam mo ba, Tom, lahat ng mga yung sa research ko, lahat ng interview na pinanood ko for the past week, talagang talking to you, talking to Carla, yung sa mga interviews nyo, parang ang dating ng mga viewers, they want to be in love again.
Sarap na ba?
Parang ang sarap ma-in love. Alam mo yung parang, ang sarap ma-in love, and that was parang epitome of what a true love is. That's why people, kasi doon sa isang interview, you were so happy na parang everybody so happy na you guys got engaged. Ang masasabi ko kasi you gave, parang hindi nasagot kasi ng mga nag-interview eh. Parang nagtataka kayo eh. Ako sasagutin ko sa'yo based sa napanood ko as a third person opinion. They are happy because you guys gave the feeling of being in love, na masarap ma-in love. When did you find out na, di ba, marami ka naman mga relationship before? What made you decide na si Carla na talaga?
I knew na very early on. Like I said, I must have said it in other interviews before. Na ramdam ko na it was my own insecurities that prevented me from pulling the trigger. Kumbaga, not insecurities within the relationship, but external of. Meaning I was scared of that I wasn't capable enough yet to take it to the next level. Meaning if I would be able to hold up my end of the bargain, na magampanan ko yung mga tungkulin ko financially, mga ganun. So ang dami kong mga parang gusto munang ma-hit the checklist. But that was the very humbling part of this whole pandemic. And even kasi Carla didn't want talaga a pandemic wedding. Even ako, I wouldn't have wanted one. It was a lesson na I think it was given to me and to us both by him, is learning that life doesn't adjust to you have to adjust to life. And that maybe sometimes it's when you feel something, you should take action na instead of waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. Kasi katulad nun, we waited, and it just so happens that when I felt the perfect moment now is during a pandemic na ang daming challenges. So there are like layers of lessons packed into that. Na had I proposed when I felt it before, instead na padala ko sa takot ko dati, we wouldn't be facing all of these problems now. But at the same time, the problems that we are facing now are things that are helping us and learning us grow. So feeling ko it's all part of his plan eh. Parang kung siya yung grand weaver, things are happening as they should be for the two of us. Kasi we've had to learn a lot throughout this whole, and we're still learning a lot throughout this whole pandemic wedding.
Now,
So
meron ka,
daming
do you
challenges.
have a terms of endearment for each other? Because I always hear you say
Ang tawag ko
ma,
sa kanya,
pa,
mama. Mama,
mama,
mahal. Yeah.
papa. Saan nakuha yan? From previous pa ba yan? Or wala
Hindi,
lang?
kasi yung my husband's lover, mommy, daddy. So it just
Yes.
became ako naman, bigla mama na yung natawag ko sa kanya. Sa daddy pa rin minsan. Daddy. Pero sa akin, mama na. Parang nag-evolve.
Now, Tom, kung hindi, with all the hats that you did, actor, singer, artist, host, tapos hindi ka nag-gamer, pero among all those, ano yung pinaka-paborito mo? Which one? Kunyari, given, if somebody would say, isa lang ang pwede, which one would you choose?
Ang hirap eh. That's the thing with me. Since I'm more of a jack of all trades, master of none. I prefer it that way. Parang I don't see it as other people would tell me before that I should focus on one thing. Pero I almost believed and went into it until I realized it's not for me. Mas gusto ko talaga that like you see right now how my setup is. I can't and won't pick just one. I have one computer for programming. I have one for artwork. This one naman is for music, the station. So even here at Lock In, just to show you again, I have to have it talaga. So here I do my gaming here then, programming, mga ganun. Here art. So I have my other iPad here for references usually. So here, let me see if I can what do I have here na I can show.
Yung mga drawings mo? Uy, mas ano na ngayon mas malaki na yung mga gadgets mo. Dami, kumpleto ka na
Yeah. Hindi lang naka-on ngayon tong isa kasi I was doing Photoshop since I had to do artwork for the venue change. So
Yes.
yung new church.
I know, I saw that. You sent me a copy. So Tom,
So
go ahead. So ngayon,
yeah.
if you meet your 20-year-old Tom, what would you say to him?
Oh, that 20 doesn't seem like a faraway number from now, and yet it is. 20-year-old self. Siguro it's the same advice I would. Hang on. Let me plug back my phone back in para hindi malobat.
Sige.
It would be the same advice I would tell my 13-year-old self, funny enough. So it's like, parang sabi ko nga, if we all go through the hero's journey, that Joseph Campbell hero's journey when it comes to narrative, since it's something that resonates with us humans, I used to think that it was just one cycle, not that it's cyclical. No, we have to constantly keep relearning the same lesson that we've learned over and over. So it goes out to 13-year-old Tom. This goes out to 20-year-old Tom. Go easy on yourself. Don't be too hard. Don't expect too much. Just relax. Take it easy. Kumbaga, things are happening as they unfold. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Don't just look. Sabi nga ni Bruce Lee, based off of a Taoist story, na if you keep pointing at the moon and you focus on the finger, you'll never see what you're looking at.
True.
So parang ganun. Just enjoy the process.
Okay. Now, if you look at the mirror today, what would you tell Tom?
Na you're in a good place. Things are unfolding. You're
happy.
You're happy. Yeah.
You're really happy. You're truly happy. You look
very,
very happy.
Very, very.
Yeah, you look very, very, very
really
happy. Compared to all the year. I mean, you were happy then, but you're super happy ngayon. Superlatively happy.
Yeah. Yeah, to think there are stressors. It's not enough to make the good things. Kumbaga, changes sa wedding venue. Lahat alam ko kung ano yung meant for us is still gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the process na lang, the good and the hard parts of it. Because alam ko mangyayari yung kasal because it came from him.
Yeah, that's true.
Kaya alam ko mangyayari.
Now, Tom, would you consider yourself to be religious or spiritual?
Both in a way.
Really?
Yeah, both were instilled into me. So I find it nga na I would always tell this to people, people who are atheist, agnostic, people who are spiritual, and people who are religious that I'm very close with.
Yeah.
I would always tell them na it's like we're all looking at the same thing with just different flashlights. We're all in the dark. We're looking at the same object with different flashlights. So we all have our own different interpretations of it. But I think we're more connected than we think or we pretend to be. And I think it all comes from one source
One
pa rin
source, yeah.
talaga.
Now, Tom, when you tell people, pag tinatanong nila sa'yo, kasi among the interviews, wala pa nagtanong sa'yo, what is happiness to you?
Happiness?
Uh-oh.
I think it's a state of being. Because like ako, I believe that we are not our thoughts. We are not our emotions. So kumbaga tayo yung radio station. The radio station isn't defined by the radio isn't defined by the stations that it tunes to. We're all capable of it. So for me, happiness it's not the fleeting or momentary na tumawa ka o ganun. I think it's a state of being talaga where you're content, you're blissful, you're content, your heart is overflowing with love at where you're at. And I think truly that's where I am.
And then I was planning to ask you kasi kanina, but I heard it in one of your interviews. Even Carla said that love is not a feeling; it's a decision, and I believe that.
Yeah, same.
I believe that the same. Kasi feeling, di ba, it's fleeting.
And that's what I've had to learn in this
today,
relationship.
di ba? Parang ganon. Sabi ko, ang galing. Sabi ko, at least no wonder you guys are where you are today because
because the naive heart, my younger self would think, and kailangan ideal, everything has to be perfect. So if not, you'll go to the next one and until it works. The reality of things, nothing is black and white. Things are more gray. Things are more gray in real life. Things blend together. So instead of trying to chase, parang yung looking for the perfect moment with proposal, it's the same. It carries over in different things in life. For me, now if you keep looking for that perfect relationship na kailangan wala kayong pagtataluhan kahit isa man lang, so ba andun ka lang sa puro good side. It's like this piano. If you're interested in the higher octaves lang, ganyan, no? You're looking for the higher octaves lang, ang pangit yung pakinggan.
Correct.
Diba? If you go into the lower octaves, pangit din yung pakinggan.
Oh, true.
Yet, if you sit in the middle, kung yung piano mo, sobrang limited yung, katulad ito, the one I'm using is 2 octave lang.
Yeah.
25 keys, small. But if you go in the middle, you can play a melody na may high notes and low notes. So for me, happiness is sitting, kung yung instrument mo maliit pa, sitting in that happy pocket where you get the good and the bad.
Correct.
Kumbaga, the low note, the high notes and the low notes enough. And as your instrument expands, your keyboard expands, then you're able to really play so much more. Pero kung limited pa yung sayo, at least staying in the middle, since nothing is black and white, not extremes, staying in the middle path, you'll still be able to express and express yourself beautifully. So for me, life is like that. Relationships, life is like that. I don't try to go for everything has to be perfect or kung hindi, pangit lahat. No, things are a mixture of may mga good days, bad days, but all of it, Ricardo, yan, you learn something from it.
Now,
it makes it a more fulfilling experience.
True. Now, would you consider yourself as a planner or you're kind of like go as you?
Oh no, Carla is the planner out of the both of us. Ako, I go by I'm more. I see an overall plan or an overall objective that I want, and for me, as long as you're, kumbaga parang planet, diba? You have something, a satellite going around it. It's perpetually falling, but if you're in that same trajectory, pupunta ka pa rin sa patutunguhan mo. As long as you have that forward momentum, kasi you're just stagnant in your So if you see your goal and you go through it in a forward momentum, malihis ka man ng konti. Kumari, there are challenges, roadblocks. As long as you're taking that forward momentum, aabot at aabot ka dun. Mag-detour ka man, aabot at aabot ka pa rin sa pupuntahan mo. I take that approach to life. Since I've learned early on, having to move, having to go to different places, na I can't make life adjust to me. I have to adjust to life. But as long as you have that constant at your goal, darating at darating ka doon. Carla naman is very pragmatic and she plans and writes everything out. And I think for the both of us, it works. Kahit paano, synergistically. Yeah.
Now,
I'm able
As-
to tell her sometimes, okay, it's gonna happen, relax, it's gonna, ano. And for her naman, it gives me structure.
yeah.
So we both gain something from it.
Now, do you still have insecurities?
Dami. Yeah.
Like
Now with
something
regards to
that you
other
could
people, not
share to
just
the audience?
ang dami. Which one shall I choose? I shared kanina na I had an insecurity na I wasn't financially ready for may not be good enough to become a husband. So
Really?
there's that. There's other insecurities ko that I may not be the best version of myself when it comes to being in this industry to act to I never compare myself to others, but when it comes to my own standards that I want for myself, I feel like other people are probably better suited for this work than I am. So may mga ganun ako lagi na I'm
That
always
was
too
then.
hard on
That
myself.
was then when you were starting out. What about
No, but
now?
even
Even
now,
now?
it's it's
Even
still
at
there
your
na parang
stature? Talaga?
na you feel like did I really did I do my best there? Did I
Yeah.
take an easy shortcut? Did I really parang I always ask myself these hard questions na na totoo ba talaga? Are you scared of this because you don't feel like you're up to it or you're scared for other reasons? I always try to ask myself these hard questions kasi baka may lingering there's issues there. Your ego is hiding posing as humility. May
Mhm.
mga ganun questions that I've
True.
conversations I've had to ask myself. Sometimes you think you don't have any ego, you're being humble, pero yung humility mo pala is false humility. It's ano pala, it's ego masquerading as ano. So may mga ganun din minsan. I have to constantly re-examine myself and talk to myself and ask hard questions. Kaya it's hard to pick one just for here because it's an ongoing conversation with myself lagi.
Okay, now, dun sa mga nagawa mo na, do you watch your own product or your own work? Kasi a lot
Before
of
I
some of
couldn't.
yung mga na-interview ko before, like the singers and some
Mm,
actors, they don't watch their own
yeah.
performance.
Ako, I never used to like to. Kaso, sabi sa akin, si Direk Rory Quintos yun, the very first one that I worked with.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, you have to learn, to grow. Kasi I would remember, I would watch the premiere of Here Comes the Bride. I was so engaged watching everyone's part. Tapos pag ako na, I start sinking into the seat.
Yeah.
So there's always a part that you cringe when you watch yourself. You're always too hard, you're too critical. Pero we have to learn to grow. And yet, it's a weird thing about showbiz na you watch it, and yet when it's time to do the work, you have to jump into it and almost forget that you were watching. So it's a weird dichotomy na you have to be aware, but at the same time, when you're in the moment, you have to stop being aware of the camera, stop being aware of everything. So it's almost like doing your homework para when you're there, or practice when it comes to like watching footage when you're in football,
Yeah.
watching footage of the other team. Then when you're playing, you're there, you're in the moment. You're not thinking about the footage from the anymore. It's parang internal na imbibe mo na. So parang it's the same approach.
Pero when you watch your own work, do you criticize it too much though? Na parang
Sobra. That's my
talaga,
problem. I'm
yung
my
may
own
mga
worst
roles ka
critic.
nagawa na parang, oh, I should have done this, I should have done
Yeah,
that.
pero that's the thing I'm learning now is I'm easier on myself since I've been reminding
That's
myself to
good.
just enjoy it. I've been less andun pa rin constructive criticism. I take constructive criticism pa rin, pero I'm less critical na parang grabe. So hard to please na hindi kailangan ganun. If I don't do it the way I wanted to in my head, I'll beat myself up for days. So ngayon parang I remember this quote from Patrice O'Neill. He's a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
He says, comedians daw, they don't get paid for the laughs. We get paid for the attempt. And I realized, hey, acting is a similar thing. Parang athletes in a way. Na like a boxer or an Olympian who's there, they don't it's not the gold medal that defines what they do. It's the attempt.
Yeah.
So parang tayo, we're in there, we're gonna try our best in the scene. If we fall a bit short of what we expected, okay, we regroup, try to do better in the next scene. So ganun na yung approach ko ngayon. Whereas before, grabe, I would beat myself up for days. I would carry it. Pag may eksena ako na hindi ko nagawa ng gusto ko, or I feel like I fell short, even though I tried my best, I would beat myself up instead of trying to move forward and see, okay, what can I do? What else can I do?
You did a lot of different roles so far. Diba? Husband's Lover, rom-com, tapos ngayon kontrabida ka dito sa... Meron ka bang parang a role that you really want to do eventually Na parang ito
That was
gusto
what I
ko.
was super scared of before, but Popoy knows this. Kinky Boots. He
Really?
watched it. He
Yes,
watched it
yes,
when
the
we were in New York,
Broadway. Yeah,
and I said, at the time, that was years and years ago. So I told Popoy, "Boy, if there's a role I'm super scared of that I don't know if I can
I think yung last
handle."
na napanood ko si Migs Migs Ayesa, yung
Miguel Yesa
singer.
did Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots, yes. Yeah.
Whoa, I met him in
In
person. Such a
Broadway.
cool guy.
In Broadway. It's a
Oh,
good
that's
show.
wild. Well, grabe, he has the chops for it. Definitely the vocal chops. And I know the first time I saw him when I was interning in Hong Kong, it was
Yeah.
a Queen musical. Siya yung nandun. I'm a fan of his from Rockstar in excess.
Yes. Siya yung
Fan
napanood ko
ako
sa
yung ano niya.
Broadway. Si Migs Ayesa.
Oh, baby, I
Kinky
love
Boots.
your way.
Yeah.
Tapos here din, I met him when they did Rock of Ages. He did Rock of Ages
Sa
in the
Manila.
Philippines. Yeah. Gabi, sobrang bait. Yeah, I mean, I can picture him doing it. But there, when I was watching it, it was Billy Porter.
Okay. And he won
Billy
a Tony
Porter
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, Gabi,
Yeah.
whoa, what the heartfelt performance and musical altogether.
So
Sabi
you
ko,
want to be a drag queen.
Lola. Yeah, not even. I would love to take on the challenge. It's something that would be so uncomfortable, so outside of myself. Na it would be so challenging. Na I wanted to do it not because I felt that I could or I was ready to. It's something that is there as one of the most challenging things that I could do, and I didn't know who could do it sa Philippines.
And
When I found out
Atlantis has not done it
Noy
yet.
Volante did it.
Well, Noy
Atlantis
Delante did
it, but Noy
Jersey
Volante-
Boys.
Yeah,
Jersey
but
Boys, right?
Noy did it. When I heard that he was gonna do it, I said, okay, Noy. Before I said, hindi ko alam kung sino yung makakagawa nito sa Philippines. When Noy did it, sabi ko,
Ang
he
Kinky
would-
Boots ginawa sa Philippines?
Yeah,
Si
and Noy
Noy.
Volante did
Akala
it.
ko Noy
Sabi
did
ko,
Jersey Boys.
I don't know if he did it. I didn't get to watch that one. Pero Kinky Boots he did, and he was amazing. He transformed. He's a good friend and he
Yeah.
wasn't Noy, he was Lola. And sabi ko, wow, the bar is set high, pero I still want to do it in the future.
You never know. Di ba?
Yep.
Now,
Maybe I'll bust out some
No, if there is a song- now if there's a song, do you have a song that plays in your head that kind of describe where you are right now? Is there such a thing?
Actually, this is weird, but I've been singing one in the bathroom. I don't know why it popped up in my head, but every time I'm here, since my acoustic, I've been singing, ano yun, ano yung kantang kinakanta ko nun nilagi, ba't nakakalimutan ko yung lyrics? I will be here. I will be here. Yeah. Because it encapsulates, parang, I think since things are happening, things are challenging, Carla and I have been so far apart. In 5 months, we've only seen each other for 2 days. One day was a working day.
I know.
Nagkataon lang na nagka-overlap na dapat wala pero napagbigyan kami. So parang despite all these challenges, I wanted her to know lang na I will be here. Parang ganun yung So it's been playing in my mind. LSS ako sa kanya.
If
Recently.
you have a hashtag for your life right now, what would it be?
#blessed.
Blessed? Ang ganda!
Definitely. Although everyone uses it, pero I'm using it unironically. I'm using it. I really do mean it. I really do feel blessed. Despite everything that's going on, I still feel the Lord's blessings.
Honestly, I feel that just talking to you and seeing you now. I mean, you always been happy disposition and all that.
There's always a silver lining in everything.
Yeah, pero ibang aura mo ngayon eh. Maybe because of the next month you're gonna be a married man.
Yeah. Very soon. I'm gonna be different chapter in my life na, literally.
I know. So how many kids are you planning to have? We talk about that often.
2 yung pinayagan ako. I said before 6. 2 yung pinayagan ako, pero now hihirit ako ng 3. Baka pwede.
Well,
Try lang naman.
diba? Nagpag-usap tayo, sabi ko baka may kambal.
Baka twins. We'll never know.
Diba?
Basta kung ano ibibigay niya sa amin,
Tapos na.
it's what's meant for us.
And it's a good example kasi your mom, at sabi mo nga at age 35, she had you. So pwede pa. O tapos 3
Pwede pa.
after that.
Kaya baka
all of the
3 or 4.
siblings, kung nakita nila yung pictures earlier, wala ka itatapon. They're all good looking, di ba?
Grabe.
No, but think about it. With your 1 dimple and Carla's 2 dimples,
Yeah.
how can you go
yung
wrong?
sa mga anak namin.
What would you
Dito.
ano ba yan? Are you gonna go with the traditional na pag tinanong, do you want a boy or girl? And you say, as long as they're healthy.
Hindi, actually, naisip ko na yun before eh. I was thinking, should I have since sa akin, I had older sisters eh. So I was thinking, should it be like that as well? Kila Carla, ganun din. Older sisters, younger brother. Pero how I am with my younger sisters, iba din yung may parang protector din sila. So I'm thinking, would it be better to have a boy first? Pero cliche, pero weird na dun pa rin napupunta eh. Kasi yun nga, none of it is in your control. Kaya siguro sinasabi basta healthy since it's what's given to you. Sabi ko kay Carla before eh, when I say na kung ano yung para sa atin, that's what's meant for us. Na I wasn't able to explain it well, that she thought maybe I was saying we settle. Pero sabi ko, no, with the Lord, you never settle. Yeah. What's meant for you will happen. Meaning in the good way, the blessings that He gives to you. So for us, it might seem na, ay, hindi na tuloy ito, sayang. It's, parang you think it's a bad thing. Yung pala, kasi may mas magandang naghihintay, nag-aabang. Kaya I've learned to really just defer and resign it to Him.
That's a good thing to tell people na yung talagang, I mean, even I need to hear that. Parang
same, even for myself, constantly.
Especially with the times right now, so many problems, so many challenges, and then you telling that parang, di ba, parang.
And there will be. It's just that ngayon naiipon kasi. It's more pronounced now, but if you look at it, there are always problems, there are always challenges, and yet there are always silver linings. Yun nga, these things are always tied together. So sometimes it's just we focus too much on the negatives, and it's sad because other people have no choice but to focus on the negatives because it's really what's happening around them. Kaya my heart goes out to them, to the people na are really struggling, especially during these times.
Yeah.
Kasi ako, honestly, I could still consider na I'm blessed, and it's easy to say, and I don't want to be tone deaf or devoid from other people's plights and sufferings because I know that other people are going through a lot right now. But all I know is it's never just that. Just like life, our tapestries are never just one shade of any color, any painting, any tapestry, any work of art or music. It's never just one shade of black paint or a darker paint. To see the whole ensemble. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin ba, like how God told Job when he plucked them up to see kung ano yung sinasakop niya.
Correct.
That's God's tapestry. We don't know His mind. We only see a few strands. So minsan andun tayo sa dark strand. Feeling natin yun lang yung laman ng buhay ngayon. But if you pull back, it's still a whole tapestry. There's no tapestry na lang. Na it's all just monotonous. Life would be boring. And life is not that way.
Now, Tom, what would you advise to the young people? Yung sa mga pinagdaanan mo, from Samar to Arizona and then back to the Philippines on all the challenges, what would you advise people young kasi yung mga may edad na sometimes parang they're so set with their ways. But
it'll be very hard too because this new world that they're living in is such a different one from one that we experienced. Mm-hmm. Especially now with social media being part of their lives, their real identities are tied to their digital ones, and it's just the way things are. Yun na yung reality ngayon eh. Tayo, swerte pa tayo na we got to experience the analog and the digital. So we have that context. Meanwhile, sila, that's their life eh. So if I could give advice, it's just to know that not everything revolves around social media. Just like I advised myself before that life doesn't revolve around high school. Diba? When you're in high school, you feel like that's your life. And you realize when you go to college or you go to your work, na high school and college, they don't play at all that huge of a role, especially high school. When you're there, you feel like whole life revolves around just the dramas of high school. Na kung may ganito mangyari, feeling mo, oh crap, I can't show my face in school anymore. Oh, my life is ruined. May mga ganon. So now feeling ko social media has taken on a bit of that. Now sometimes if something happens in social media, some kids may say, no, my life is ruined, my life is over. It's just to know that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, and we can always be, just like kung tayong radio station, we can always aspire to be tayong radio. We are not the radio stations that plays in us.
True.
But we can always try to be more receptive of things. Be the type of radio that's more receptive of things na maayos. So we work on our components. Kung ano yung nasasakop natin. We can't control the stations that go through us as a radio, but we may be able to control our own components. So kuwari, talk to yourself. Really try to confront your shadows, your fears, try to know who you are as a person and be okay with it, what drives you, kesa iaasa mo lahat sa veneer of social media, which might not be real life.
Yeah.
So feeling ko yun, that's what I would like to try to impart with them. Yung mga natutunan natin sa analog in this digital age, maybe that's what I would like to try to impart.
Okay, you mentioned earlier in the earlier part of the interview, growing up you were bullied, especially in Arizona. Now, iba na ngayon ng time eh. The bullying now is done through internet. Diba? Yung
Yeah,
mga
and I've still experienced some of it.
bashing.
I do
So
experience some of it.
are you still
Bashing,
being
other people
bashed?
that we do bashing. Some people, maybe a few personalities misrepresent some of your interviews. Like katulad nun, for the longest time, it says na sa San Francisco ako tumira.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's not true, but that's what's out there. Just like some other, what I mean is the full context isn't available with just clips. But sometimes you get judged off of one clip, off of a video. And there are some that have been so harsh towards me. And before I did feel that it hurt me. And now I see it pragmatically.
Good.
Na ihahon ka, they'll try to bully you in that way. And I see it in a way na sometimes when people do that, it sounds cliched, but it really is they're projecting or they're working something out within themselves.
Correct.
So they will try to dim someone's light. Unless it's constructive criticism. If it's constructive criticism, then it's fair play. Okay, yun, you will learn and grow from it. But if someone is just bashing you or hating you for no reason, just based off of a few clips without context, they've judged your whole persona or they keep attacking you, then you might have to consider, is it really an issue with me or with them? So it's really objectivity. Eh. Yeah, try to look at it objectively.
Yeah, tapos one thing too is legacy-wise, anong legacy gusto mong iwan? Not that you're gonna die or anything.
Yeah, I know, but I always, even more recently, I've been constantly thinking about that. Na I even told Carla, na I want this next chapter of my life, my blood, sweat, and tears to mean something more significant, not just for our family and our children. Because I want, since here's where we're gonna be raising our children here in the Philippines, I would love to be more active, and I would love to be more active in my community, more active in the country as well, like shaping a future for our children. But at the same time, being able to have significant help sa people around, like something substantial.
Right.
Kasi I told her, hindi ko minamaliit yung industry natin because I believe in our medium and our industry.
True.
But it makes me sad sometimes na we are able to distract them and make them smile or take them away from their problems. But when you leave, you left them no better than how you found them. And when we help privately, it's usually just band-aid solutions. We give, parang yung teach a man to fish, we give the fish.
Correct.
I would love sana to have a legacy where I'm able to touch, not everyone naman, or not change systems, but those who are in my immediate vicinity, those who nasasakop ko or I'm able to influence or touch. I would love to be able to help elevate or alleviate their suffering or help elevate their lives as well in whatever way I can, just as the other people have done so for me. So if there's siguro it's like going back to Dad again, na tumutulong sa mga nakikita niya. I would love my legacy to be just like Dad's, how it is in my head. He left a legacy na kawang gawa.
Correct.
Pakikipagkapwa. So sana ganun din yung madala ko. Yun din yung maalala ng mga anak ko sa akin.
Wow. Now, talking about young people, right? Kala mo marami akong pasabog eh.
Hey, Tito Tom! How are you guys doing? And we miss you so much. Can't wait to see you again soon.
Hey Tito Tom, I know your birthday's coming up, so I want to say happy birthday. I also want to congratulate you on your wedding.
Hey Tito Tom, we miss you and we can't wait to see you again. And congratulations on your guys' wedding.
Hey Tito Tom, congratulations on your guys' wedding. I can't wait to see each other again. And yeah, we love you guys.
We love you!
Guys, grabe, lalaki na nila.
Oh, I'll send you this para may kopya ka.
Sige nga, artista yun na yun ha.
Grabe, ang lalaki na nila, di ba? Parang
kilala,
especially the eldest. I mean, the eldest is even taller than your sister.
He calls me. Kanina, nasa taping ako, hindi ko siya nasagot. So I'm gonna call him back. Kasi we always say that he sends me his stories, his artwork. Then I try to redraw them.
Tsaka parang kamukha mo siya eh. Di ba?
Hawig siya ni Kuya Lucas, but I see sa akin, diba? I see some resemblance.
Yeah.
Pero grabe yung mga interests namin sobrang pareho.
Correct. Yeah, yun nga
So siya, mahilig din siya
Pero
mag-drawing,
grabe, yung mga
magkwento.
pictures pag nakikita ko sa Facebook, matangkad pa siya sa nanay niya.
Yeah. Tangkad na niya ngayon. Maybe he's even taller than me now. Kasi last time nakita kami, parang halos same height na kami ata eh. Baka mas matangkad na sa akin yun ngayon.
Grabe, no? Well, ang
Time goes
question
by
ng
so fast.
marami, how soon do you want to start having a family? You're getting married
Right
on the
away.
24th.
Right away, sabi ko talaga, that's one of the things na nagulat si Carla eh. Sabi ko, come on, agad na. Sabi ko, di ba, like, why are we gonna wait? Di ba, sabi mo, body clock. Oh. So, ba't bigla na-shock ka no? Sinabi ko right away. Sabi ko,
So,
muna dahil.
October 24 is the big wedding. So, October 25, go na. Start
23.
na.
So, sa 24 start. 23 wedding eh. 24, ano na.
Talaga, grabe. That's so exciting. So, I know for a fact na marami kayong, this is really a tough wedding to do kasi nga, I know, yung location one, tapos with the Taal, doing that.
Might I just say, grabe, sobrang na-amazing ako kay Carla. Siguro, this is me, I have to take time to appreciate her now naman. May mga nagsabi sa akin dati, be careful during the wedding dahil every bride becomes a bridezilla.
Yeah, correct.
Every bride. Sabi ko, I don't think that's true. I don't believe it. Kasi Angel yung misis ko. She's the nicest person I know. And yet, tinubuan pa rin ng sungay. So it does happen pala. Talaga, totoo. Every bride becomes a bridezilla. But to her credit, weddings are tough enough to plan. This is during a pandemic wedding.
I know.
It's been so heartwarming to see her grow, to think that she's the type of person who plans. Now I've seen her really just start to go with the flow in some of the things that are out of her control. So she's been learning from this whole process as well. I mean, I have to take my hats off.
Saka si Carla naman kasi, even pag nagkikita kami, talagang very planner siya talaga, very organized.
Yep.
She writes everything. Diba?
Yep.
Parang...
Kaya she's, to be honest, having a harder time between the two of us because separate, she's the one that's very meticulous about things. And I feel for her. I want to be able to help as much as I can. Excuse me, but I wish I could parang do more or be everything. Ako na yung gagawa, pero unfortunately limited din yung capacity ko. Pero I just want to take time to appreciate and take my hat off to her. Grabe, sobrang superwoman ng babaeng yun. She never thinks she's capable of so much, but she is.
So hindi mo pa nakikita yung wedding dress kasi she went to New York for that, right?
Yep. I
wala
was
kang concept? Walang sketch, nothing? Oh, that would... Oh my God, I can't wait to see you on the big day. Grabe.
Sa STE. Makita niyo sa STE kung ano yung reaction ko.
Feeling ko iyak ka.
Maybe so, we'll see.
Kasi, di ba, siguro it will be interesting kasi, di ba, you've been married so many times on your teleseries. So,
and yet,
Carla,
the proposal still felt, different.
Surreal, yeah. Talaga.
So maybe the wedding will be the same. We've been married so many times, and yet this one is still gonna be different because it's ours. It's a real one na.
And Carla,
I'm excited. I know whatever dress she's wearing will be beautiful on her as always. But this one is gonna be more special.
One of the prettiest face in the industry. Diba?
Sa akin,
ang ganda-ganda
para
kaya
sa akin,
ni Carl.
the prettiest.
Diyos kaya yun. Now,
alam mo, Sir Josh, when I saw her just for that one day, wala akong ibang ginagawa kundi tumitig lang sa kanya no nasa shoot kami. It was for an endorsement shoot. We started at 4 a.m. We ended at 11 p.m. Yeah, ganun na kami natapos. I would just stare. The next day, I would just stare trying to memorize her face. Gandang-ganda pa rin ako sa kanya. Grabe.
Isa siya sa mga artista na nakita ko, walang pangit na angulo.
Yeah.
Diba? Kahit sang angle mo
Angelic. Diba? And I feel so lucky that I get to see all of these angles.
Yeah.
Sana soon more.
And you are
more
so lucky, Tom. I think you guys are both
eh.
lucky kasi I know you and your family and what you will bring to the table. Tapos si Carla, I'm so excited to see your kids.
Oh, me too. And I'm so thankful for her family.
Yeah.
Grabe. Na even when Carla was away, they would invite me to go to Tita's house. They have get-togethers there. But they really made me feel like I have a family here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Kaya I feel so blessed then to be part of theirs. Just like she is going to be part of ours, my family.
Okay, one last question before we end.
Mm.
Election is coming up next year in
Mm.
May in the Philippines.
Mhm.
Would you consider endorsing people or a politician?
I might. Yep.
You are. Are you
Yep.
endorsing it based
Which
on?
is something that I've never done before.
I know that's why
Maybe
a person
just to
asked
certain
me.
friends. I've
Yeah,
always been an advocate for voicing or exercising a right to vote.
yeah,
And as long as whatever political ideology you might have, as long as it's coming from a good place, meaning you derived it, you researched it yourself, you have good intentions. Kasi no system is perfect.
well,
I mean,
of
there's
course.
politics is just politics by definition is the system of gaining
This is-
power.
Yes,
It's not tied to governance. So government is one aspect of politics. Showbiz has
correct,
its politics. Our households have politics. Everything has politics, and in all those political systems, it's never perfect.
correct.
There are with every system there are people who are opposite extremes, who are really bad, people who are really good, and people who are
In
in
between.
between. Yung ipit lang, they just want to
Yes,
live their lives, go through the daily motions. Ganun din. So when people talk about political ideologies, I always just try to discern which part of you in that pendulum, in that spectrum.
right,
Kasi in whether you're left or you're right, there's it's its own self-contained system. There are the people who are good, who are bad. Here there are people who are good, who are bad. And in each system, there are the people who are in between. We have more commonalities than we try to
correct.
see, or hindi tayo nagkaka-discourse. So usually in my whole life, I've always taken a centrist approach. Pero when you take a centrist approach, sometimes the nagiging problem is you have two things. Either you're too vocal and both sides won't listen to you, or you take yourself completely out of the equation. And in both ways, you lose because no change is affected.
Correct.
Walang nangyayari. So
Correct.
eventually you do have to make a decision. You do have to make a choice. So you see, you don't parang with the perfect partner and with the perfect time. It's the same thing with politics and in how I vote. Na you can't life is great. There's no 100% looking for the 100% right partner.
Correct.
I know some people say, but why do we have to settle? Yeah, ideally we shouldn't settle. Pero realistically, we live in a world that's in the real world, and it's not black and white. So we might not have 100% political congruence with certain political ideologies. But if even 80%, and we see programs and projects that do work and you believe will have significant change in the country for future generations, and it's worth fighting for, as long as you believe in it and you've derived it to the best of your knowledge, meaning napunta ka sa decision mo na yon based on research and good knowledge. Kahit iba man sa decision ng iba, we should learn to respect it. Just like I respect it. Kami ni Carla, we have very different political ideologies.
I could imagine.
And yet it works. In a way, we've never trampled in each other's. Because I know she believes in what she believes in for a good reason, just like she knows I believe in what I believe in for a good reason, which is for the betterment of the country. So in that way, we don't all have to agree, but we all could do a little more of respecting each other's point of view and belief, instead of labeling someone just because they're in the opposition or they believe something different from you. You label them something. You think they're demonic, or you label them something as if. I think that's very dismissive.
Correct.
So in this way, I think I'm gonna be in this new chapter of my life. Like I said, I want to take a more active role. So maybe this time around, I will endorse someone. Maybe this time around, I will vocalize my own. Even if they might not be as popular, or they may be controversial. I think I owe that to myself and to my future children.
Yeah, true. Now, how would you react when people say si Tom Rodriguez napaka-deep?
Yeah.
Deep. Hindi
rin kasi ang dami ko rin
shallow,
kababawad sa buhay eh.
Hindi ka mababaw. I mean, even just hearing you out. And I always knew this, but I know a lot of our listeners and viewers would be say, iba pala si Tom Rodriguez. How do you react to comments like that? Kasi ako kilala kita eh. So it will be biased if I tell you.
They do say that. Siguro mafa-flatter ako if they do say that. But really, these are, I benefited from having siblings that seem like friends. Even kami nila William, we would have late nights just talking about these things. We play devil's advocate to each other, and we try to talk things out. Na sometimes he changes my views, sometimes I change his views, but we try to healthy discourse yung tinatry namin.
The
Kasi
discussion.
he always complains na he's in college again now, and doon parang they want to debate. So even if you're debating for something you don't believe in, they want you to debate. So parang we're realizing that, hang on, we're setting the wrong precedents. Parang precedents na tuloy people are getting trained not to talk to bridge differences, but just to talk at each other and just to try to win. And I think it's reflected even in our political sphere. We have people who are trying to talk to each other to win their side instead of really trying to have a dialogue to try to see where they differ and where they align. Yun yung nangyari. So siguro if having discussions like that, calling yourself out or trying to self-reflect, trying to really know your place in the universe and life, if that's deep, then I think we could all benefit from introspection as well. I don't think it's something that's something that's exclusive to just a few people. All of us have access to it.
True.
We just have to allow ourselves to.
Now, Tom, and last question ko sa'yo, how do you want Tom Rodriguez to be remembered?
How I want to be remembered? I think, wow, that's weirdly enough, that's a question I've asked myself before, but one that I haven't been able to answer. And even now, I'm trying to think what to boil down. Siguro that I would just love to be remembered that I was here. I was present. That I was in the moment wherever I was. I gave it its due attention. Parang I didn't just I would hate to think that I went through life. Parang yung Click.
Yes.
You know the movie ni Adam Sandler?
Yes.
Where you went in autopilot, you just went fast forward. Because sometimes I have that in me na can we bypass this hardship now and go to the goal or go to the reward? And I realized it's like having a carrot in front of you. It's like having your goal or having the carrot in front of you. I used to think of it as a bad thing. But if you have the carrot in front of you and you're chasing it, other people might say that's sad. You're perpetually chasing something that you can't catch.
Correct.
And yet if you see, umusad ka pa rin. Gumalaw ka pa rin.
Correct.
Pero the sad part that I would think about that is that focusing on your goal too much, you're missing the whole journey, the whole experience. Kumbaga sa Ecclesiastes sa Bible, di ba, that hevel, the one when they say hevel, that smoke, now it seems like there, it's solid structure, and yet when you touch it, it disappears. And in Ecclesiastes, they say na life, it's one of the darker philosophies in the Bible, that life might be dark or we're so small in the scale of things. And yet what makes life more meaningful are the moments, the interactions that we have with each other.
Correct.
So I would love to be remembered that I was here, I was present. Whatever it is that I was doing,
That's
I always gave it my
nice.
all.
Yeah. Now, a lot
Sorry,
of people...
medyo gumanon ako sa advance.
It's okay. And that's sabi sa'yo, itong show na to, I think I'll definitely invite you for another part too. Kasi parang ang dami ko pa, pero I think it will be like so long na mainisa sa atin ng mga advertisers.
Yeah, pwede
Now,
iba, puro kalokohan. Game din ako sa mga kalokohan.
Datating din tayo dyan kasi you're one of the most sought actor na gusto nilang ma-interview at marinig yung mga views mo. Now, saan what are your social media that they could follow you?
Actually, puro ako si Mang Tomas. So in Twitter and Instagram, ako si Mang Tomas. Sa Facebook naman, I do have Facebook, and I'm gonna start using it more actively again. Yung problem ko lang, hindi ko alam kung what to tell them kasi ang daming mga fake accounts.
Ang dami. Sa totoo lang.
So I don't know how to
even si Cars, ang daming fake account.
Yeah. Kaya hindi ko alam kung paano i-advertise, kung ano yung real one.
Yeah. Pero wala kang Laika.
Meron ako Laika ngayon. Yeah, but I don't use it as much din eh. I need to.
You need to.
Pero grabe, I'm so
I think somebody pretended to be you.
Yeah. And that's what made me make one finally.
Yeah. And they're making money off your name.
Yeah, the first post that I did was the faker's post. As a joke, sabi ko, kung nakawin ko kaya yung post nila araw-araw kasi parang effective. Pwede kaya yun o ma-in trouble ba ako?
Well, it's your name. At the end of the day, it's your name.
Yeah. But I really believe that platform. I was able to, the people who own Laika gave me like 20,000 gems, and I was able to donate it to other people, and they were able to buy groceries. So it really does.
Yeah, see, yun ang maganda eh. Kung kasing iba, they get it and they buy something for themselves, mas maganda kasi gift naman yun, ibigay mo rin sa iba.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
nice. I
blessing,
was able
di
to,
ba?
na when you see them
Especially
na
now in,
thanking you, or they were able to get groceries. Sabi ko, it's
yeah,
not from me. It came from Laika, but at least I was glad that I became an instrument to be able to impart it to them. But it
correct.
means that it's tangible. It feels fake kasi digital pero it has real world effects. It blows my mind.
Yeah, before we end, Tom, any last message now that we know a lot of things na, and we try talaga na to ask you questions na hindi pa natanong, and I think we
Yeah.
practically successful in that kasi you got to think of some of the questions thrown at you. Now, any last message before we end the show?
I'll keep it very short, and it's coming from a song then. It's not from me.
Oh,
But
teka
this goes
muna.
out to everyone.
Yeah, can you sing? Pwede bang mahingyan ka ng isang song? Are you able to do
Isang
that?
song. Sige, before I
Yeah.
do, or do you want me to do
Yeah.
the last message, then I'll do a full song, or
No, you do the
what?
song first and then last message and then I'll
Sige,
end.
you know what? Let me search yung kanina.
Kaya?
Ayaw ko ba to? That's best effort. Try ko lang.
Oh, para malaman nila talaga you're a very, very good singer.
Kinabahan tuloy ako bigla. Kanina pa ako dal.
In overtime na kita, hindi ka pa yata nag-dinner.
Ito yung ini-LSS ko sa banyo. So never
Okay.
ko pa na-try sa karaoke. I don't know if I'll... Tingnan natin.
Sige. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm giving you Tom Rodriguez.
Oh Lord, kinabahan tuloy ako.
Nag-cross pa as if you need it.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun does not appear, I will be here. If in the dark we lose sight of love, hold my hand and have no fear. 'Cause I will be here. I will be here when you feel like being quiet. When you need to speak your mind, I will listen, and I will be here. When the laughter turns to crying, the winning, losing, and trying, we'll be together. 'Cause I will be here. Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the future is unclear, I will be here. Just ensure that seasons are made for change. Our lifetimes are made for years. I will be here. I will be here. You can cry on my shoulder. When the mirror tells us we're older, I will hold you, and I will be here to watch you grow in beauty and tell you all the things you are to me. Will be here. I will be true. to the promise I have made, to you and to the one who gave you to me. Oh, I will be. Oh, and just as sure as seasons are made for change, our lifetimes are made for ease. 'Cause I will be. I will be. I will be. I will be. I will be.
Galing! Virtual clap! Ikaw na talaga. You just heard Tom, the singer.
Ay, ako.
Kailangan talaga, Tom, pag nawala ng pandemya, concert na natin yan. Like what we originally
Sayang,
planned.
you're planning something
Yeah,
pa naman
di ba?
yun, just for
Di ba, may
my,
deposit na kami sa Music Museum eh.
sayang
Tutuloy
eh,
natin yan.
pandemic eh,
Well,
wala.
for sure, the part 2, I will definitely, of course, depending on your availability, siguro pagtatay ka na.
Yeah.
Para ibang topic naman yun, di ba? Mga Q1,
Yeah, that would be,
Q1, para iba naman. Siyempre, from
yeah,
single, yung
definitely something new.
yeah, para yung naman, from transition from a single guy to a married man and a family man. I'd like to pick your brain on that.
Oh, I'd love to check back.
Yeah,
with
for
you on
sure.
that.
For
Parang,
sure. I
another,
can't wait. For sure.
Para at least we have reference.
I know, para makita natin kung yung mga nabasa mo, narinig mo, kung in actuality, because they said it's always different when you're there, di ba?
Kalbo-kalbo na ako dito. Inano ko na pala. Ayoko na. Wag ko mag-aanak.
But Tom, thank you so much for the effort. I know I kept you awake for so long. Sorry.
No problem. My pleasure. Lalo na for you. Like my dad said, you are family. You're a mutt.
I know, I'm a mutt, di ba? Anyway, you just heard, and we had a long conversation with the man of the hour, Tom Rodriguez.
So just last message. I'll keep it a few lines from a song din.
Okay,
message
go ahead.
Sa kanila. Yung, there's a rainbow ways after the rain. Yun lang.
Parang maganda yan, I should remember that. I think I should remember that.
That's from Rainbow. That's from a song. I don't know if the trivia is right, pero sabi sa akin ni Popoy, sinulat yun for Ate Janice daw kasi they're very good friends with sila Jay Durias.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Pero really, I love that song. I love the message of that
Rainbow.
song. Yeah, I know. Even we could all use it. Take a little time, baby, see the butterflies' colors, listen to the birds.
Especially in this day and age, in this pandemic. Sana matapos.
There's a rainbow always after the rain.
Right. So I always close, alam mo ba, with Jush Andowitt, with always, please be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And
exactly.
Any act of kindness that you do to people, there's a way of it going back to you. Yun ang lagi kong
it ripples out.
Sa mga tao. And as much that it's so hard to be kind, just be kind. Just give it a deep breath and say, I'll be kind today.
If you have to make a choice, diba?
Yeah,
you have to make a choice in life.
Pero minsan, Tom, I keep telling my audience and my listeners, sometimes it's so hard, but we try.
Yeah.
And with
I think
that,
okay na yun. The fact that we try, I mean, we're fallible as human beings. We're not like him. But the fact that we try to be kind, I think that's enough. Kasi it means that we might not get everything right all the time. Pero may pasok sa banga pa rin. There are, as long as you try, there are guaranteed to be moments that you succeed.
Alam mo, Tom, one of these days talagang kukulitin kita. Dapat mag-guest ka dun sa Dear Kuya Josh, Ate Jen. You'll be perfect
Yeah.
for that. Kasi yung mga ganyan, yung mga dialogue, gustong-gusto yan ng yung mga letter sender namin. They need to hear a fresh idea.
So yeah, I would love that. That would be fun.
Pag hindi ka na
Yeah,
masyadong
let's-
busy, hadapan natin ng butas yan. You'll be perfect. And I think you and I, dahil pareho tayong talkative, our show could go on and on and on.
Podcast
Diba?
talaga.
Yeah, so sa inyo
Podcast.
pong lahat, magandang tanghali, umaga, hapon, gabi sa inyo. Looking forward to a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And please, those people in the Philippines, stay safe. And if you could get yourself vaccinated, please do so. Protection is better than cure. And
Yep.
wala na po tayong mamili. Whatever is available, at least you
Yep,
are protected,
that's
whether 52%, 92%, whatever is available, that is the best vaccine right now that could really fight against this virus that is global and pandemic. So with that, maraming salamat po, and good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye, Tom. Bye, Tom.
Bye. This is so much fun. I liked it.
I know. Thank you.